O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Girls, and welcome aboard to a beautiful Friday. It's beautiful because, man, we have been waiting for a long time, baby. A long time for Dolphins football. We had no idea what was going to happen this offseason. Then we had an incredible offseason. They've made some great acquisitions that really, when we look at the acquisitions, they made a lot of sense. And now that puzzle is now trying to be brought together. And on Sunday, we're going to find out where they're at in this process, man. And I think a lot of us are excited about this weekend. We got the Canes taking on Southern Miss on Saturday. We've got Inter Miami fighting for a playoff spot. They're taking on, what is it, Chicago, right? I think it is. Yes, Chicago on Saturday. Must-win situation. Marlins are finishing up a useless season. That means nothing whatsoever. And then we've got Dolphins and Patriots on Sunday. And, man, we're going to cover it all for you this weekend. We're going to have a pre- and post-game show tomorrow. All right, Mike McCoy and myself will carry you and get you ready for the Canes and Southern Miss. So we'll have our pre- and post-game action with you. And then on Sunday, we return, and we will get you ready for Dolphins and Patriots. Both pre- and post-game shows 2 hours prior to kickoff. And post-game shows will start the second the clock ticks 0. And then we will get on the air and wrap up both. We'll have the press conferences for you. We'll have insiders that are in the locker room. Manny Navarro will join us immediately after the Canes game. We'll try to get you the Cristobal press conference, all of that, all of those things we will try to get for you this weekend as we move forward and have some fun. So now 7 days a week here on the platform during football season, we've got you covered. We're at Dolphins camp. We're going to be at Heat camp and Heat games this year too. So we're going to be all over the place now as the platform continues to grow. And we thank all of you out there, and really excited that we've got a Canes show on Tuesday nights with Mike McCoy from 8 to 9 p.m. The following Tuesday, not this Tuesday, the next Tuesday after that, we will have 2 shows on Tuesday nights. We're going to have a college football roundtable with 3 of the insiders that cover the teams. They're in the locker rooms. Kevin Brockway, who covers the Gators, and Ira Schoffel, who covers the Florida State Seminoles, and, of course, Manny Navarro with the Athletics. So those of you that wanted, a little more Gators or Seminoles reports, you will get that now every week with the roundtable. I will host that show from 7 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. The platform is growing every single week, every single month. I was told by Sean yesterday that August was our most viewed month on YouTube. So thank you all out there for continuing to support us. And again, the issues continue with iTunes. We have reached out to them. We don't know what's going on. So for those of you that are struggling with the iTunes downloads, so are we. We have no idea. We have no control over it. But it's not on our end because all the other platforms are getting every segment that we put out. So if you go to Amazon or if you go to, Spotify or Stitcher or SoundCloud or Podbean or iHeart, they're all getting every single segment and every interview and everything that we post. I don't know what's going on with iTunes. So if you're an iTunes person and you're struggling to get our audio downloads, all I'm saying is get another service, get another platform as a backup so you can always compare it, because then you'll see that it's not us. It's just something going on with iTunes. And, dude, I can't even get an answer from them. Not even an answer. Like, I've sent 2 emails already because I didn't get one after a couple days, and I sent them another email like, yo, what's going on? And I got no answer from iTunes. So if I'm you, if you're having problems downloading the show through iTunes and all that, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, all kinds of every other platform pretty much you can find us on. Manny J. Snow, thank you, my man. I appreciate you. A little love on the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Says he's in Pembroke Pines. Well, why aren't you coming by here, man? Come on by and say hi, Manny. Steve Chapman, number 1, says, everyone, the mission starts in 2 days. Did anyone notice that Allen's TD pass to Diggs was underthrown? No criticism about his arm. It was a little underthrown. You know what I also noticed about that game yesterday? So let me ask you something. Do they have like a corner that plays for the Rams that's pretty good? Some guy named Jalen Ramsey, right? They pay him a lot of money, right? Did you see Stephon Diggs school his ass? Okay, no, because that's all they talk about with Noah. Well, you know what happened with Noah when they started with Stephon Diggs. And I feel bad for Noah. I hope the light finally goes on and the kid figures it out. Like I said yesterday, you have to understand he's starting his 3rd year and he's 22 now. Like, that's when you're supposed to come out of college at like 21 or 22. So you got the kid like at a baby-faced 20-year-old, 19-year-old, or whatever he was. I don't know, something like that.
But he's also learning the position going against the top 1%.
Yeah.
Of the athletes that are going to make it to it's not even college level. You're talking about the top of the top.
There's no understanding in that. It's just he's a first rounder, so he's supposed to be kicking ass. And that's the problem. So we'll see what happens, but it was funny how things that happen that it's looked at differently through certain lenses than other lenses. And yesterday watching Jalen Ramsey, get blown past by Diggs, and I'm like, well, this is all they say about with Noah. All they do is slam the poor kid. Well, you saw when he got that start against Stephon Diggs. Yeah, a baby fresh out of the league, and here you go. Here's Stephon Diggs, one of the best route runners in the NFL. Go ahead. Have some fun. It's hilarious. Really, it is sometimes. Let's see. Brian Walters, Big Dan 305, Richard McLean. What else do we have here? Wait a minute. Let's see. Razzle Dazzle Crypto. By the way, how about crypto right now? What the hell happened overnight? I don't know what happened, dude. Bitcoin's up like 10%. It's close to it. What? 985 now. It was over 10. Bitcoin's over 21,000. And it was at 19.5. It was stuck at 19.2, 19.3, 19.5. And again, I think, again, I'm going to say it's probably a fake pump again. I don't know, because I don't see the stuff around the world changing. So, but Decentraland's up 6%, Polkadot's up 9%, Polygon's up 7%, Shiba's up 8%, ApeCoin is up 17% right now. 17%. That's amazing, dude. Chainlink up 9%, Ethereum up 6%, Avalanche up 8%, Algorand up 7%, Illuvium up 7%. I mean, the market is incredibly green right now. I'll tell you that. Remember, you can make a donation at Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, as always, man. He's always incredibly supportive. Thank you. I see it there on the Venmo. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, Ho Yoon. What else do we have going on in the world of deportes to talk about? Hey, by the way, what happened with your boy AEW on AEW, MJF on AEW? So he wiped his butt with Josh Allen's jersey, and he called the Buffalo fans poor lard asses. This guy's like my favorite wrestler of all time now. Is he any good?
Yeah, he's one of the better ones. That he's a homegrown talent there. Well, I guess you could call him homegrown. He was in the Indies for a while, but he started, in AEW, and since then he's prospered. He came out as a baby face because he's from New York.
Okay.
So he's wearing the Bills jersey. Came out, everybody's, going good with him. And then John Moxley came out and called him out and said, it's all a farce. It's a lie what you're doing. Then he ripped the jersey off, and that's when he went into the tirade about the Buffalo lard asses and took off the Josh Allen jersey, said he sucked, and then wiped his ass with it. And
this might be the greatest moment of wrestling.
Nah. Let's see. What would be?
What did they slam the Patriots or the Jets? They're slamming the Bills. Somebody wiped his ass with a Bills jersey.
Yeah.
It's the greatest moment in wrestling history. What are we talking about here? I mean, this is wrestling at its finest. Calling the Bills fans poor lard asses that light themselves on fire and dive on tables. It's the greatest moment in wrestling history. It's freaking awesome. I saw that yesterday, and that's it. I'm now officially a wrestling fan now. I am now watching every MJF match. In fact, what do you buy to support your wrestlers? Because you have jerseys and stuff.
You go to Pro Wrestling Tees and get an MJF shirt.
Okay, that's it. I got to get an MJF shirt. Anybody that's willing to wipe their ass with a Bills jersey and calls the Bills fans poor lard asses, that's my kind of wrestler right there. Love it. Appropriate description too, by the way. Way to go, MJF. He's got a future as a color analyst too. Or analyst, considering his actions. Gilbert Martinez, thank you for the love on the super chat. SCE Home Theater also chimes in with a little love on the super chat. He says, morning, Big O. Happy Fins Friday. It is a happy Fins Friday, isn't it? It is a happy Fins Friday. I got up, got ready for the show, and I said, yeah, I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling my Fins today. Ohio John is back. The married man headed down to Miami today. Oh, which sports grill do we meet at? No sports grill this season, my brother. We are hoping for some good news today on a new home. So we're still in the mix of that. If not, we'll be in studio, unfortunately. We are working on getting a home for the University of Miami pre- and post-game shows and the Miami Dolphins pre- and post-game shows, and a couple of other shows that we're trying to work on, too. Frankie Fresco says, Big O into wrestling. Yes. Yeah. Damn right I'm into wrestling. And Frankie, thank you for the love on the super chat. And Ohio John, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, after the 24-13 win. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see. How can you not appreciate Buffalo Mafia? Yeah, they are a great fan base. They are loyal as hell. And by the way, the bastards look really good yesterday. You know, we still cocky about if it was 8.5, we're going to take the 8.5. Well, we easily won that game yesterday. We told you to lay the points, 2.5, 3. It got to 3 also, but it was, I would have laid the 3 also. I liked the Bills yesterday. I didn't think it was going to be that ugly. I thought maybe 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, right around there, maybe a 10-point win.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be a 21-point ass kicking.
No. And it wasn't a clean game by Buffalo.
No. Turnovers galore.
Yeah, that was the worst part about it.
Yeah. Turnovers galore. Yeah. A bunch of turnovers. No doubt. Josh Allen scored 4 touchdowns, 3 through the air and 1 on the ground. Stafford threw 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Diggs with 122 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp with 13 catches, 128 yards and a touchdown. It's amazing how Diggs is getting the ball. Cooper Kupp is getting the ball. And yet you still can't stop it. It doesn't matter. I mean, Cooper Kupp caught the ball 13 times. You're not good by accident. You know what I'm saying? It's just you're great by work ethic, by talent, by consistency. And that's why Diggs is great. That's why Cooper Kupp is great. It really is special. This is why I said last year that Waddle showed me so much as a wide receiver because he's going to do more of what he was really brought in to do this year. Play on the outside, stretch the field, all those kind of things. They changed his game up completely last year and making him a slot and making him fight for yardage and short windows and all that kind of stuff. And yet you knew he was getting the ball. You couldn't stop it. That's the greatness that Jalen Waddle possesses. I don't think every receiver can do stuff like that. I really don't. And to me, that's why I was so impressed with Jalen Waddle. While people were telling, well, his average, his catch per, yards per catch wasn't as impressive, and he doesn't have the same stats as his not teammate, but counterpart in the Bengals and this, that. Different offense, different way of using him. This year, he'll have more of those kind of stats because of the way they're going to use him. But the fact that he showed you the toughness he did last year playing inside, awesome. Allen running needs to be stopped. Who is our guy to mirror him? I don't know about mirroring him. Just hit him. Hit him and keep hitting him as many times as you can. What? Brandon Jones could be. It might be Baker. It might be Tyndall. So it could be several people. Let's see. Looking forward to your Fins prediction, Big O. My prediction, 27-17 are Miami Dolphins. Nice. I like it. I like it. Steve says, Allen's main underthrow was on the 13-yard mile per hour to his right, and he still got 47 yards downfield. Yep. But he underthrew it. That's it. He underthrew it. I don't care. He underthrew it. Because Tua's the only one that underthrows. What? And Josh Rosen. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see, what else do we have? I saw a few underthrow passes last night. Oh, Allen has no arm strength now, right? Isn't that how it goes? Exactly. Yeah. He underthrew. He's got a weak ass arm, Josh Allen. That's the problem there. You know, when you underthrow, got a weak arm, bro. You know, and he threw a few interceptions yesterday, and the team had a bunch of turnovers. I mean, the Bills were really crappy and sloppy yesterday. You know, it's just they were crappy and sloppy yesterday.
The glove doesn't
Dolphins
fit.
will beat them by 50. Huh?
If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Exactly.
If you underthrow, you got to go.
That's it. They should trade away Josh Allen. He underthrew a couple passes yesterday. Guy sucks. It's terrible. Yeah, they should trade him. I mean, it was just an aberration what you saw the last couple of years. It's just, the guy's really terrible. You see his arm, it's falling apart and everything. Let's see. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, Dolphins are favored by 3.5 points. So the line continues to go up in this one. Now, all of a sudden, respect is coming in for the Dolphins at 3.5 now.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Go ahead.
Is it respect for the Dolphins?
I do dumb for 3 hours every day.
I was about to say I know, but that wouldn't sound right.
It's the truth, but go ahead anyways.
Is it respect for the Dolphins or more that they're starting not to believe in the Patriots?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both. I think people, one of the things that has kind of developed out of all of this. Okay, so a lot of us Dolphin fans, we like what we see, right? Well, apparently we're not. It's not just us homers. Apparently a lot of other people are liking what they see that are not Dolphin fans. And they kind of see what we see. Well, hey, wait a minute. This Mike McDaniel guy has got, oh, wait a minute. He looks kind of geeky, this, that. And then when you start to look at him and you look at the whole picture, you say, well, no, this guy looks like he's pretty cool. Looks like he communicates. Everybody knows he knows X's and O's. And by the way, he surprised us with a hell of a staff. So, wait a minute. They added Tyreek. Whoa, they added Cedric. Whoa, wait a minute. They added Ingold. Whoa, wait a minute. Chase, Mostert, Armstead, Connor. What? Well, wait a minute. They got something going on over there. And it's not just us. It obviously are bettors because the line's gone up 0.5 point. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just a local thing. It's not just a Dolphin fan in Malaysia, in Argentina, and in South Florida, and New York that are like, hey, man, I like what I see. No, dude, it's other people that aren't Dolphins fans. And obviously Vegas, and obviously the money coming in because it's gone up 0.5 point. So I think that should make you feel a little better because you know how we've psyched ourselves up so many times over the years that you're hoping for a good season. You think things are looking up, and then what happens, right? Or you have the surprise season from Sperano, the surprise season from Gase, the surprise season. Who else had a first season, like, because you really didn't know those guys, and then you kind of bought into it, and then the following year everything falls off the cliff, that kind of stuff. So we've had our hearts broken many, many times over. Oh, Jimmy's coming over. Oh yeah, we're going to be special. Oh, Parcells coming over. Oh, Saban's coming over. And it doesn't work out. So we've gotten burned many, many times in many different ways, right? But now, this might be the same thing all over again. But I think a lot of people are also seeing what we're seeing. So we'll see if those from the periphery and those of us on the inside, we're going to find out if we're actually right and we've figured this thing out and say, okay, well, maybe the Dolphins are ready to have a really good year because a lot of what they've done has made sense. A lot of these pieces, it seems like the puzzle fits. It's kind of the way we're looking at it. By the way, Sloman's Home Security, a proud sponsor of our program. You know, we take Alarmo with us everywhere we go, in studio, on the road. 1-800-ALARM-ME, folks. And you can get a free doorbell camera right now. Tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And I love that doorbell camera because you can keep up with everything going on. And you can put cameras all over the place. So in my backyard, I've got a camera. You've got a camera in the front driveway, all of those kind of things. And you know how it is, man. Listen, you can even put a camera looking towards the street or something like that. Who knows? You might pick up some funky stuff that you can put out there on social media and it can go viral. You never know. But that's what I love about my Sloman's Home Shield, that I know everything that's going on around the house and inside the house because I also have a camera inside the house. Got to keep up with the doggies, baby. That's what I love. And right now, listen, first 40 Big O listeners, we're going to start it up again. Limited time offer, so take advantage right now. Not only does it connect directly to your smartphone, that doorbell camera, but when you get our professional installation and use our low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, again, the first 40 Big O listeners will get that. All you got to do is call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Go with the company that you can trust, the company that protects our home, the company that protects Sean's home, and we wouldn't tell you to use something that we wouldn't use ourselves. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. Let's see. True Seeker Chris says, wasn't impressed with Buffalo Rams played soft zone coverage. I was impressed with Buffalo, bro. I'm not going to downplay it, my man. Okay, we can have some fun with it. We can have fun with an underthrow by Josh Allen or whatever the hell you want. They were really good last night, dude. They put it this way, they kicked their ass and they didn't play a clean game. That's scary. That's the way you got to look at it. They didn't play a clean game and won by 21 points. Oh, on the road? Okay. On the road. Yeah, no, he didn't play in the preseason. No, well, Dungy was the whole night. Well, this is why you got to practice in the preseason. Well, Tony, what do you say about Buffalo? Like, I'm listening to that. I'm going, well, the Rams didn't practice, and this is why you got to practice. Bills didn't practice that much either, bro. And they got one of their guys in their secondary that is out. Tre'Davious White is not even playing. So, I'm a Dolphins fan as hardcore as anybody out there, but I'm not going to sit here and drink silly soup and start saying silly crap like I'm not impressed with the Bills. No, I was super impressed with the Bills, bro. You played a sloppy game on the road without one of your best players in the secondary, and you won by 21 points. And you had 4 turnovers. That's scary. Okay? Don't twist it any other way. I'm dying for the Dolphins to catch up to the Bills, but it ain't going to be this year. They're better than Miami right now. Okay? They're ahead of Miami right now. They've been doing this for a couple of years. Hopefully, we have the coach now that can start to build this thing up to get there. The quest really this year is to get into the playoffs, and then anything can happen at that point. But, during the regular season, I think that you're better than the Bills. Probably not. But what needs to happen is a separation with the team now. that you're playing on Sunday. You're better than the Jets. You're going to win more games than the Jets. The Jets are pathetic. I mean, dude, I was listening to a couple of Jets idiots, and they're writers, and they were kind of spinning it how Joe Flacco is actually, like not as bad a starter as he could, as people think. And I'm like, dude, at this point, come on. But whatever. So you're gonna win more than the Jets. Well, now you need to make sure you crush the Patriots and you separate yourself from the Patriots and you make it a 2-team race between yourself and the Bills. And then maybe you can cut the gap at the end of the year. But right now, the Bills are the best team. The Bills are a Super Bowl contender. They're not a divisional contender. They're not just a conference contender. They're a Super Bowl contender, if not the favorite to win the Super Bowl. As much as I hate to say it, but you got to give those sumbitches props, man. They got a hell of a team. You don't play a clean game on the road and you win by 21? Get the hell out of here. All right, let's do it. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball with Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Settle in there, Oak. Settle in.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
How you doing, Ira? You doing all right?
Good. And it's interesting, especially if people are catching this on the podcast. I thought a point you made before we went to the break and came back about the distance between the Bills and the Dolphins when it comes to contention. I think it's a really important point when we talk about the Miami Heat here on our Acura Pembroke Pines report for this reason. There is not that kind of distance between the Heat and any team in the Eastern Conference. And I'd even argue between any team in the NBA. Yes, the Celtics defeated the Heat last year. They went to the NBA Finals. Milwaukee, they still have Giannis, Drew Holiday, Middleton. They're a very good team. The Warriors, obviously, they're back with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. But I don't think there's that precipitous drop that it would not shock anyone when the Miami Heat played the Celtics, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Nets. I don't know who else you want to throw in there. The Warriors, that at home they wouldn't be favored. Yeah. I'm not sure. Matter of fact, you tell me this, because you're a big gambler, and I know there's 2 liens on your house already, but the Dolphins, when they host the Bills, I assume the Bills would be favored?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah,
so my point being, I think when the Heat host anyone this season, the Heat will be favored, simply because they're that close. So I think in the summer of, oh my God, the sky is falling, the Celtics got Malcolm Brogdon, the Sixers wound up getting PJ Tucker and Montrezl Harrell, the Nets wound up keeping Durant and Irving. I think this is a really good time as we get 2 weeks, within 2 weeks of the start of camp, to exhale a little. And your point you made before our break, before we came on for our Acura Pembroke Pines report, was a cogent one. The Dolphins have a long road to go to get to the utter elite level.
Oh, yeah.
The Heat are right there. And you know what? A lot of times, if you're watching on YouTube, my hands are on the same plane. The Heat are just there. So this whole summer of consternation, we all love change. We all love something different. I've listened to the Big O show for years, and they all wanted someone besides Tua. And they all wanted the backup quarterback. And they all wanted that kind of change. Well, you got your coaching change. That's your big move. That's the big attitude change. The Heat didn't need a big move. They didn't need an attitude change. Yeah, I would have loved to have kept their starting power forward also. But I really wonder, because we can't do age discrimination in real life, how many people out there, and I remember you talked about this, were willing to give 3 fully guaranteed years and $32 million to a 37, 38-year-old power forward. So I think the consternation over the Heat, at least for the moment, is somewhat misplaced.
Well, no, it's see, the difference is where it's not a fair comparison with the Dolphins and the Heat. The Heat have already put they've put their fan base in a different level of expectations and a different level of demand. the Dolphin fan can't demand a deep playoff run and a title contention because that's not reality. Reality is first get a winning season, get into the playoffs on a consistent basis, and then build on that. Prove that you can do that. The Heat's been doing that for 20 plus years. They've been going to the playoffs. So playoffs for them is we're in the Shula mode. That's where we're at. We got to a point, because obviously you and I are old enough, where, Shula's only winning 10 games?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not enough. He makes the playoffs? No, that's not enough. And unfortunately, that's the Miami Heat nowadays. It all comes full circle. One day they'll wear the double belt again, Ira. They will. The double belt will come back again in fashion. And the spoiled fan is always back in fashion. And that's what the Heat is. The Heat fan right now is the Dolphin fan in the 80s. They were so used to watching all the success from the 70s into the 80s that there was another level of expectation, and not just winning or not just making the playoffs. That's not enough. What are you doing to try to win a title? And that's where the Heat fan is. The Heat fan is, they have they're in Park Avenue and Boardwalk, whereas the Dolphins are still in Virginia and I don't know those other
Baltic and Mediterranean over there on that side, not on Park Place. Yeah,
it's not in the Baltics. Okay, come on. I'm going over to Virginia and come on.
You're in the green. You're in the greens already. I was in the light blues.
Purple, green. Yeah. We're not in Park Avenue and Boardwalk yet, but come on. Man.
Or if we had the Hialeah version, we're not at Hialeah Park. We're not at Hialeah Park yet. We're still getting there. I understand that. So we're closer to Palmetto General. So I can understand that also.
The Heat fan is different, man.
It's like the Tony Sperano years. Unless I'm wrong, he won like 10, 11. Like he had good seasons.
111 season. 111.
Right. Yeah. They had seasons and it still wasn't good enough. Yeah. So, I mean, my real question is this.
That's Kevin Lockery making the playoffs. It's
yay. It's a different era. So I can understand the Heat expectations. I would put it this way. Every power rating we've seen to this point has the Heat at least in the top 8, and that's their basement. That's the basement. There've been plenty that have had them 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. I think the Dolphins are sort of stuck in the middle right about now, which is different. Maybe they're not 15, maybe they're 13, depending what you think of the roster. So I just think this whole sort of Heat summer of consternation, I love something new as much as the next guy, but I think you also have to have perspective. And also, Big O, one thing that changed when you were doing your shows back on the top of the radio dial in the 1000s on the AM back in the years, these are salary cap leagues now. They're luxury tax leagues in the NBA. It's just different. It's no longer what it used to be. Just get everyone. You can't be the Yankees or the Dodgers in the NBA or the NFL. That's the difference. If people are calling you in or going to your YouTube chat board and saying the Dolphins should have done this, this, and this, you have to tell them, no, you only have X amount of dollars to go around. Right. I'm the same way. I talk about luxury tax. I talk about hard cap. I talk about salary cap. That's the difference here also. There's no quick makeover in a salary cap world. Baseball, it's in its own. I know they have profit sharing to a degree, but you still can spend as much as you want. We don't have that in the other sports. You have to build it, and you have to build it right.
Well, Ira, when I was a beat guy and going to all these games with you and covering the teams, I covered a guy that is going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. In fact, right? It is tomorrow, right?
It is Saturday, Springfield, Massachusetts. Correct.
Yeah, Saturday. So I was wondering if it was Sunday, but it's Saturday, and so I'm glad it's actually Saturday too instead of football Sunday. But anyway, so Hardaway's getting in, and listen, I don't think any of us are going to ever argue the player, and I know that unfortunately the person made a terrible mistake, and I'm glad that he was able to atone from that. So he could be able to enjoy a well-deserved moment, because, I think of Marino, and if you don't have that title, well, man, if you were great enough to be one of these guys, I hope you're able to at least enjoy this moment personally, that, hey, you couldn't enjoy the ultimate team goal, but it wasn't because individually you didn't bring enough to become a champion in that team goal. And that's the way I look at Hardaway. That's the way I look at Marino. Players that gave their all, played their asses off, and they're not the reason why their team didn't win a title.
There's two great titles you can have. One, obviously, is being a champion, but also someone who's pushed forward a resurrection, who's lifted a team from the dead, who's made a team relevant, as Dan Marino did with the Dolphins again when they got going again, when they found him, as Hardaway and Mourning did with the Heat. Look, I'm going to ask you a question, Big O, okay? Which is harder, to come in to a team like Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway did that only made the playoffs twice in their first 7 years, or to be Ray Allen and just jump on a championship team, to be Mike Miller, no offense, and jump on a championship team? Mike Miller's a champion. Ray Allen's a champion, had one in Boston also. But it's a lot different to just join a championship team. So yes, you can call guys champion. We see it in every sport. They jump to the next big thing and make sure they're winners. But to lead a resurrection, to bring a team from the dead, and you remember what it was like, no offense to Kevin Lockery or Alvin Gentry and Dave Wall and the Heat's previous management, but this was a go-nowhere team in a go-nowhere arena, in a go-nowhere salary budget, that just with Louis Chaffel and Billy Cunningham, God bless them for getting it started. To lead a resurrection, in my view, in sports is far more difficult. To be that linchpin guy on a team, you might even say, hey, you didn't go out as a champion, Jonathan Huberdeau, but you were here when the Panthers became relevant again. You lifted this team to mean something. That means something. That's significant. We still have to wait for the guy on Inter Miami to say, hey, because we have this guy, we thought it was Higuain, it's not. Because we have this guy, we're relevant now. That's where Tim Hardaway should be remembered. Golden State was not much of a team before he got there. All of a sudden, Mitch Richmond and Chris Mullin already were there, and then Run TMC started. And you were like, holy crap, I got to watch this team. They are fun. The Heat, where no one was watching the Heat, no offense to Glenn Rice and Steve Smith and Ronnie Cycli, and then all of a sudden, the craziness of Pat Riley coming from New York, Alonzo Mourning's grit, and Tim Hardaway is such a son of a bitch bulldog that even when I talked to him about Kyle Lowry's conditioning or whatever, his part was this. You can be 6 feet, but if you're 6 feet with an attitude, and if you're 6 foot with a resolve, you can still thrive in the sport. Yesterday, like Tim Hardaway did, today, hopefully, like Kyle Lowry will again after his Raptors championship. Yeah, Tim Hardaway deserves to be there because resolve and resurrection have to mean something.
And I got to tell you something, and I know this is going to sound in a way maybe insensitive to the community that he insulted, but I don't mean it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think he was as hateful as it sounded when he did that comment. I just think we were in an era still back then. There's too much goddamn machismo. And it's almost like, you're not man enough if you're friends with somebody that's gay or something. And it to me I think there was a lot of that behind those comments of his. And it was just one of those things that, the testosterone and all that other stuff that, it's kind of, they think they're above that kind of stuff. And, oh no, don't associate me with those kind of people and that kind of stuff. Because I hung out with Hardaway several times at a cigar bar. We used to meet each other a lot at. Not we would go meet each other. We would meet there because he was always going there and I would go there. And I hung out with him for several nights smoking cigars and talking. And I just don't see him being that kind of a hateful person. I just think it was one of those things where it's I don't know, like a stigma that was around. I think it's a lot less now. I'm sure it still exists in some areas, but I think most of us have matured in society to be a little bit more accepting of others and whatever you are, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And so I'm glad that he was able to kind of atone on all of that and reach out to the LGBT community and also make amends of that. But I just think that he really, when he said that stuff, I don't think he really meant it all. I think it was just one of those general things that comes with a certain group of guys that they they feel almost I don't know what it is, uncomfortable around, someone that is gay or something like that.
I'm going to give you one more thing, Big O,
I just think it
because
was just one of those things where being around Timmy, he just doesn't seem like that
no,
kind
I
of
think it was more
dude, man.
cultural and religious. And he
Yeah,
said this
yeah, very cultural.
in the church that he was raised, it
Yeah.
was frowned upon, it was not discussed. And so when you are raised, we are all products of our background.
Blacks and Hispanics have there's a
Okay,
lot
you know
of
what? I'm glad you
bad
said that because I didn't want to be to inject that into the air. But
I'll do it, man.
we have
I'm
family
never afraid
friends.
of that.
We have family friends
There's
of
a lot of
color.
gay stuff in the black and
We have family friends of
Hispanic.
color, and they said the same thing, that's just how they were raised.
Yeah.
So what you hope more than anything society-wise
Yeah.
is that we can change and we can turn and we can open eyes. And Tim Hardaway did that from where he was when he made his comments on his radio show initially to where he is today. I wish everyone could be like that. I wish all of us, whether it's a vice, whether it's a prejudice, we could work toward changing that. Because that's all you want. And you evolve as a society. You don't have a senator who goes, that's not something I care about. That's a stupid discussion. I'm not voting for that. Those are the people who scare me a little bit more than the basketball player who says, I've become enlightened and truly has. And again, by your actions and not your words, by attending parades, by going to groups, by offering support, by putting your support behind legislation in the state of Florida, by real tangible actions instead of just by words. So I just hope that doesn't become the focus for Tim in today's press conference at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, tomorrow's inductions in Springfield, the Hall of Fame at Symphony Hall there, and that Tim just sort of gets to be brought in because he is an infectious personality.
Right.
He is so agreeable.
I've been around him for hours at a time, and I'm talking all kinds of stuff, not just basketball. I'm telling you, he's not really he screwed up. I mean, he screwed up big time.
And you know what? And he's spoken to anyone and everyone about it. You've seen all these articles. I wrote about him twice this week at the Sun Sentinel and sunsentinel.com. We've seen national articles. Mark Spears at ESPN wrote about his crossover. There's a story on ESPN about the big three. Tim's been open. It's like, a lot of guys, they're too big for this. You can't get interviews. When the Heat's big stars went in, we'd ask PR, can we get them? No, they're too busy. Tim has been everywhere. Tim calls you back. Tim texts you back. He is very open about everything. And again, Big O, and this is a subject as we have a little more downtime before we get into the season that I will continue to harp on, and that is this. There was an era of the Miami Heat before Pat Riley and before the Big Three and before Dwayne and before Shaq. Dwayne Wade arrived in 2003, 15 years into this history. Please don't forget Ronnie Cycli, Glenn Rice, Steve Smith, some great players who were here before along the way. They deserve credit. Say what you want about Kevin Lockery, but the man had a gazillion wins in 2 different basketball leagues. He was a coach who was respected at his time. Ron Rothstein, for putting up with the misery of what he did and continuing his basketball career, he deserves credit. So please, this is a franchise that for 15 years before Dwayne Wade arrived was still growing and still had some great people. Let's not forget that. Let's honor those people as well.
Hell yeah. No, there's definitely a nice, rich history. That's why I say, maybe we should build a Heat Hall of Fame there, bro.
I'm all there. Or at least a bobblehead hall with all of them in the entrance like the Marlins have.
Yeah, something right there on the water, a nice glass building. That actually would look really, really cool there on the side. So go ahead, Mickey. Let's go. Let's go build a Heat Hall of Fame. All right, what else you working on in the Sun Sentinel this weekend? So
a couple of things. We'll have coverage of Tim Hardaway's speech. The ceremony starts at 7 o'clock. There were like 15 people going in, so it's going to be a long ceremony. Honestly, the timing is terrible. ESPN didn't pick it up this year because of college football, so it's going to be on NBA TV. Certainly worth checking out, Tim. If you can't and you're watching your Gators or something else, I'll have the background for you. My Ask Ira today at sunsentinel.com. I understand the Heat not wanting to be hard capped. The Heat not wanting to be taxed, and Big O has spoken about this. When it just comes down to money, are they going to be sort of, penny foolish in not adding that 15th player? We will see. There's a difference between not being hard capped. Then you lose flexibility. When it comes to the luxury tax, that gets you down the road in the repeater tax. But with Kyle Lowry, 36, with Jimmy Butler, 33, should they be spending a little more right now? So you can see that.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? Read the damn thing and issue a comment there, just like I read your damn chat board every week on a redrecovered.com Inside the Paint show. Wednesdays at 9. Get on my damn chat board there, Big O.
Mickey, spend, baby. You don't have Sherman's a payroll. Let's go. You got a lot more than Sherman there with the Marlins. Let's go, buddy. Spend some cash. All right, Ira. Thank you. As always, appreciate you.
I'll catch you next week for 2 Acura Pembroke Pines reports and Wednesday for a redrecover.com Inside the Paint Show. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, Ira. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and subscribe to the Sun Sentinel like I and many others do.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's stop acting like the Buffalo Bills won the division by 8 games, only won 2 more games than the Dolphins, and they are a much better roster. Yeah, and Buffalo's a hell of a team. But that's a big mountain to climb. We will see. We're gonna find out in a month where they're at and how close they are to the Bills. The question is, I don't worry so much about the first game. I worry more about where did you get throughout the season when you meet them in the second game? That's the one I want to know how close you are, or can you beat them at that point? It's hard for me to think that you're going to win this one. If you win this one, wow, that's going to be pretty freaking awesome. It's a lot to ask, you know? Let's see what else. Topher says, I found it hilarious how the announcers had to let everybody know 3 times that Josh Allen's first interception wasn't his fault. Yeah, I saw that too. That was funny. Yeah, but that was because you know why they did that too, right? Because they were talking about how perfect he was at that up until that point and how things are going well, and then he throws the interception, and then they wanted to point, hey, but by the way, that wasn't on him. So it really wasn't us jinxing him throwing the interception. That's kind of really what it was about, actually. It was really more, they did that more to justify them because it's so announcer-like that, oh, well, he's lining up for this 44-yarder. Oh, but this is a chip shot for him, Bill. He's hit the last 77 field goals from 57 yards and on. So this should be a chip shot for him. Snap. The kick is up. Oh, it's off the pole. And boom, right there. Oh, he's at the line. He's got to hit these 2 free throws to win the game. But you know he's exceptional at the line. He's hit his last 1,978,446 free throws. Clank, clank. I mean, that's really what it was last night. That's what it was last night.
It was the preseason, the Jason Sanders
right,
field goal, right?
Exactly.
Here we go. Doink.
Yeah. Same thing. That's all it was. If you go back and listen to the audio, that's really what it was all about. It was awesome. It was awesome. Oh, fantastic. What else do we have? Big O, you really think you're coming to Buffalo in the winter and winning? LOL, Dolphins fans. What can I tell you, bro? It could happen, Sal. Anything can happen. You never know. But I didn't say that they were winning, Sal. I think I said the question is find out how much you've closed the gap from the first game to the second game, and if you can even win. I didn't really say that they were gonna win, but I got it, Sal. You're typical of the person that hears whatever the hell you want to hear and then phrase whatever you want to phrase. But, you know, I just said that they were going to beat them. Exactly, you know. You know, it's just, no, Sal's typical of the idiot that reads the headline and doesn't read the article. Sal is typical of the idiot that takes a Facebook fact and makes it the story. That's it. No, I heard this is what happened. Sal, are you kidding me? The Capitol is still there. It didn't explode. Well, I saw it on Facebook. It exploded. No, dude, what's wrong with you? That's a Die Hard movie. Big O Charlie Waters started his career at cornerback for Dallas, and he was like Noah, and then they moved him to safety, and he was a Pro Bowler for a bunch of years. Actually, that's not like Charlie Waters because Noah was a wide receiver who then moved to cornerback. So if Charlie Waters started his career as a cornerback, that's a hell of a lot more than Noah, my brother. And moving from corner to safety is not the same thing as moving receiver to corner. Assault, we love you for listening. Absolutely terrible comparison. Okay? But thank you and have a great weekend. Big O, the Bills have to defend the Dolphins too. Let's wait and see. I saw guys wide open, but the Rams O-line kind of weak. They only had the cup. Oh, Bob Dylan's voice is like Mushmouth from Fat Albert. However, do you think Lady Lay is actually a good song? Lady. Oh, you're talking about Layla? Is that what are you talking about Layla? You got me on my knees, Layla. No, isn't that I don't even know. I don't know a lot of the Bob Dylan songs. Is that a Bob Dylan song? Lady Lay? I don't know it. I don't know. That's my problem with Bob Dylan. I have a hard time listening to his music because I can't stand his voice. And I know he's a terrific lyricist and all that good stuff, but I can't stand his voice. So it's something that I don't really know much of his catalog. I know the obvious songs that everybody knows. I know those Bob Dylan songs. And I know this is kind of blasphemous for me to say this because he's so revered and loved by so many, but I could just never get into his music. I just can't. I have a hard time getting into his music. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I just threw the Clapton song because I don't really know I don't even know if he's joking with me or not on that Bob Dylan song. Well, yeah, it could be Derek and the Dominoes too. Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's probably better. You're right. Big O, having that much speed on offense will open up a lot of things up, especially the run game. Let's hope so. Gilbert, let's hope so. Listen, I want the Dolphins to be great. I think they can. They have a chance, but they have to first prove it. The Bills are already there. Those are the facts. Bills are already there, man. Can't do anything about that, you know? Because the Bills are the kind of team that has been challenging for this position now the last couple of years. Our beloved Dolphins have not gotten there yet. I love the elements, but they do have to put them all together now. You know who's got them all together? Welton Rayom. That is the law firm you need to call if you're dealing with bankruptcy. Let me tell you, if you got an insurance company that is giving you the runaround, or they're not offering you what they're supposed to offer you, well, why don't you call Welton Rayom? They bring insurance companies to their knees. I just saw it firsthand for myself. They can do it for you guys too, man. Condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, you name it. Homeowner property damage, like what I had, call Welt and Rayom. And they will get it done, and they will get it done pretty damn quickly, by the way. And somehow or another, what they showed me in my experience, they know more than some of these insurance companies. And they run circles around the insurance company's lawyers. So you got a law firm right now that's not doing their job. Well, you call a law firm that will get it done because I saw it firsthand for myself. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. You call Jeff. You call Dan. They know how to get it done, man. I'm telling you. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. All right. What else do we have going on? Yes. We have, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, because it was kind of happening towards the end of our show. Queen Elizabeth passed away yesterday at the age of 96. I know we have a lot of listeners across the pond, as always, and so our thoughts and prayers to everybody out there. Obviously, after losing the Queen yesterday, we saw the news yesterday, and amazing. She was 70 years, dude, in reign. Did you watch Jimmy Kimmel? Dude, last night he was on fire because he would show, he did something like, he would show pictures of people she's met back in the day, and then somebody, like she met the Beatles and then she met the Spice Girls. And so it was like one of those where, and so the opposite ends of it were pretty hilarious, right? Over the years, because she has met everybody, dude. Everybody. And you think about it, 70 years. So the amount of people, I mean, she was reigning through how many people were born and died within 70 years on this earth. Well, just not her 96 years, her 70 years of reign as queen. A crap ton of people never even lived that long. So, I mean, that is impressive. But if you get to, here's a little trick for you, just in case. If you got YouTube, subscribe to Jimmy Kimmel, and then you'll get the cuts, and you'll see them. Same thing for NBA. Since you're going to be watching a lot of college football on Saturday and all that stuff, and you don't want to miss any of the speeches, if you don't have NBA TV on your cable system, go to Yahoo TV. YouTube TV, and go to and subscribe to the NBA TV channel. And then they will send cuts to YouTube of all kinds of stuff, from highlights, everything, but I'm sure they will send individually all those speeches, and you'll get to see the Tim Hardaway speech whenever you want on demand, kind of like what a lot of you guys do with our show. You listen to it whenever the hell you want. It's always fun when we go to see the top 10 files that are being listened to in the last week, and it's a show from like 3 weeks ago is in the top 10. Isn't that funny when that happens? You're like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, whoa, they were listening to a show from 3 weeks ago. Like a lot of people, like, what the hell is, but it happens, man. On demand. It's what you got to love. But yeah, our thoughts and prayers with the Queen. I was like, wow, that is impressive. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 2, live from Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. The Big O Radio Show rolls on.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
You live from beautiful Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Come on out, baby. They got great deals going on. They've got a large selection of vehicles. They've got new vehicles. They've got certified pre-owned vehicles. They've got it all for you, man. So come on out here to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, where they do have some great lease features, too. They've already got the 2023 models in. I don't know if you've seen the Integra. The Integra is absolutely beautiful. Right now, it's $399 a month, the lease feature. The MDX. You can also get the 2023 MDX. They've got loyalty savings of $750. They've got the 2022 RDX also. So come on out here and check it out. All right. Let's see. Oh, let me tell you. We got Dolphins and Patriots on Sunday. Remember, we're going to have the pregame for you starting off at 11 a.m. We'll get you ready from 11 to 1. We'll go to kickoff, and then we'll be back after kickoff. Marcel Louis-Jacques, Joe Shad are going to join us post-game this week. So we'll have two of our insiders joining us on the post-game show. Tomorrow, by the way, on Saturday, we start at 10 a.m. All right, Mike McCoy and myself, we get you ready for a little Canes and Southern Miss. We will have a Southern Miss writer joining us on the program. So we'll have that, and we'll have our insiders also. Manny Navarro will join us in the post-game show, and we'll take your comments and all that. You will get objective, unbiased coverage of your Canes. No politics, okay? We will call it like we see it, which is what you need overall. So that's what you're going to get here on the program. But anyway, so we've got the Dolphins and the Patriots on Sunday. And this is what I got to say to the Dolphins. Send a message. Send a message. It's time. You know, Tua's 3-0 against this team. And it's not because, oh my God, he was lights out and burning them left and right, this, that, whatever. He and the team have played well, and they've found ways on defense, running game, passing, special teams. They have found different ways to win the game against the Patriots. But this isn't about going 4-0. This is about now sending a message. Sending a message to the Patriots that what's gone on in the past will continue now. All right, you're 2-7 in your last 9 trips here, but you've lost 3 in a row to the Miami Dolphins. Well, get used to it. The Miami Dolphins as an organization has passed you up. You are no longer the top dog in this division. That's the Buffalo Bills. But as the Dolphins, we're going to take a stranglehold of the second spot as we go on to chase the Bills and maybe knock them out down the line if they somehow can prove it. But you definitely have to prove that you're better than the Patriots. I know you're better than the Jets, and I know you will prove you're better than the Jets. But you've got to send Bill Belichick, whose ass is nervous, because this guy is renting fields in Palm Beach Gardens that have no field goal posts, and he's coming down days early because he's already flustered that he has lost 3 in a row to this team and does not play well here, that he's 2-7. Oh, and by the way, they were losing with Brady. They'll continue to lose with this guy. But you've got to make sure you show them that this is the way it's going to be. You know, the Mandalorian, this is the way it is, right? Is that, or this is the way, right? This is the way. That's it. You got to Mandalorian their ass. When you run up the score, you tell them this is the way. When they lose the game, you tell them this is the way. When you intercept Mac Jones, you say this is the way. When Tua throws a bomb for a touchdown, this is the way. Mandalorian their ass on Sunday. Send the message that they are no longer a threat. They are no longer feared. And that Belichick and his franchise no longer have any kind of stranglehold here anymore, because the Bills have unseated them, and so have the Dolphins now. Make it a 2-team race. We know the Bills are the top dog right now. They deserve the hype. They deserve the praise. They deserve the respect. Miami has to go out and earn it. But you can't go out and chase the Bills by losing to the Patriots. I know you're already better than the Patriots, so don't lose to them. I know you're better than the Jets. Don't lose to them. I can't feel good or confident that you're going to beat the Bills if you can't take care of the business you're supposed to take care of. So my message to the Dolphins is Mandalorian this bitch. Send a message. This is the way. Time now for our LennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by LennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, LennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
Back into the win column yesterday, or struggling a little bit there. We're back over 10 over 500, 31, 21, and 2 against the number in our LennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment. We told you to take the Bills minus 2.5 yesterday. They easily won that game. Even if it went to 3, you take the 3. It doesn't matter. Bills won easily by 21. Josh Allen with 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 by the air, 1 by the ground. Stephon Diggs, 8 for 122 and a touchdown. And Cooper Kupp, 13 for 128 and a touchdown. Fantasy players were very happy if you own those guys. Well, I figure we're gonna open up the season with a little Miami Dolphin and New England Patriots lockdown segment. The line right now, the Dolphins are favored by 3.5. New England and Miami over and under is 46.5. New England is plus 155 on the money line, and the Dolphins are minus 180 on the money line. So they are pretty heavily favored here on the money line. You got to lay $180 to win 100. That's a lot, but I love the 3.5. I like the Dolphins to win by at least a touchdown in this game. I really believe it. I just told you they got to send a message, right? Well, I'm going to go on the side of the Dolphins that they will send that message. I think that Mike McDaniel, right now, the unknown is going to be too much for Bill Belichick and his team. And I think that McDaniel, well, he's going to have a better feel. That whole team will have a better feel for what Belichick's going to try to do because of the quarterback that they have. Then McDaniel's going to try to, then Belichick can figure out what McDaniel's going to do. Because I think he's going to be able to keep him off balance throughout. Maybe Belichick does a better job the second go around when he's got much more film on McDaniel. But overall, I think right now, the way I'm looking at this team, I like Miami right now. I love their weapons. You saw Waddle was a full participant yesterday. I had pretty much confidence that he was going to play. And I know they're going to be missing one of their corners, but they're not a team that really goes downfield a lot. They're kind of a conservative offense. And I think Miami is going to take some chances, and I think you're going to see some big plays dialed up with the Dolphins. And I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out in the open field will be making some serious plays. I'm laying the wood. I'm laying the 3.5 points. I'm going with the Dolphins on this one. That's my A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown.
The lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com where we lock it down.
Forget Tampa, Orlando, and Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. If you live in the Phoenix area, we also have an A. Lenny Locksmith there, 24-hour day locksmith. They did it for us just last week. We had to replace the locks on the side of our home, and Lenny was fantastic. Sent somebody out, and they took care of it 24 hours a day, man. They're there for you, ALennyLocksmith.com. Topher says Lamar Jackson turned down Ravens' contract today and is betting on himself. Is that true? Did the idiot do that? He's such a moron. Nice kid, but he and his family have got their heads up their ass, if that's the truth. Let me see. I don't see that here on this website. Let me see. Did Rap Sheet report this? Who got this? Who got this? Let's see. Let me go to Rap Sheet here. Here we go. Statement from Eric DaCosta. Despite best efforts on both sides, we were unable to reach a contract extension with Lamar Jackson. We greatly appreciate how he has handled this process, and we are excited about our team. With Lamar leading the way, we will continue to work towards a long-term contract after the season. But for now, we're looking forward to a successful 2022 campaign. Eric DaCosta. Boy, what a break for the Ravens. This is a great break for the Ravens. I think this is a season that's going to go completely awry for Lamar Jackson. I think it's been coming apart for him the last couple of years now, where things are getting a little bit more exposed, and the injuries are piling up. And people are figuring him out a little bit more and making him try to make him more of a passer. So we will see. We will see if I'm right. We will see if I'm dead ass wrong. For Lamar's sake, he better hope I'm wrong. He better hope I'm wrong. But you want to bet on yourself? You're a running quarterback. You're an idiot. You're a freaking idiot. You should have gotten an agent. This is going to make Le'Veon Bell look like a genius. Okay? Remember when he walked away from $15 million and all that and never got that money back? Never got another big deal again? Mark my words. To me, it's just kind of the writing on the wall that I see. I see the hits he's taken from all the running. And he's going to have to run because that's all he can do. He's not a great passer. He can't stay in the pocket and beat you. There's a reason why Hollywood Brown said, I don't feel like I'm needed here. Of course not, bro, because they don't use receivers in that offense. Because that dude can't use receivers in the offense unless it's a little short, what's it called, crossing pattern. A little slant, Come on, man. That's the dumbest thing. He should have had a contract the last season. Okay? His new contract should have kicked in right now. He should have agreed to a contract in the last offseason, get as much guarantee as possible. What an idiot. So that is ridiculous. Betting on yourself as a running quarterback, wow. Catastrophically stupid. That's what I call it. Catastrophically stupid. All right, let's go. Joe Shad is ready to go with our Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report. He is back, and Joe will be back on video next week. We're going to do a little audio today. Joe, how you doing, my friend?
Doing okay, Big O. So glad to be back on your show, and so glad to have Hijinks Sports Grill as a sponsor. They are an amazing restaurant, great wings. Check them out. Best in Palm Beach County for sure.
Well, we got to eventually do something over at Hijinks because I got to go try their food because you don't really give high grades to anything. I don't even think you gave a high grade to your wife, which is, that's pretty that's pretty ballsy on your part. Do you give the Hijinks Sports Grill a high grade here? Do you give them an A on those wings? Because you don't hand out A's.
Yeah. No, the honey sriracha wings are my choice. Honey mustard sriracha barbecue with onions, twice baked, unbelievable. Best wings that I have had. So that is a 10 out of 10. That is a Tyreek Hill level type of wing.
Dude, that combination sounds awesome. I got to tell you. That sounds honey barbecue. What was the other? There was
honey mustard sriracha barbecue.
Wow.
Twice baked with onions. You can have the onions on the side if you want. They're outstanding.
Oh, I'll probably get the onions on the side. You like. I guess you'd like to torture your wife, so you get the onions, but no, I'll stay without the onions and do the rest. Wow, that does sound like a really good combination. And you guys should go to the website. The pictures are absolutely and the Instagram page of Hijinks Sports Grill. You may want to go to that Instagram page. It's a beautiful Instagram page. That's all I'm going to say.
Hijinks has a connection to the Miami Dolphins, which makes this sponsorship even more ideal. They have and continue to employ current and former Dolphins cheerleaders on staff. So great chance to talk a little Dolphins with some of those servers.
So if you happen to be in Boca and you want to see what a beautiful sports bar looks like, go to Hijinks Sports Bar and Grill. There you go. So check it out. Check it out. You reserve a VIP table, they give you a free glass of champagne. So take advantage, man. All right. So there you go. Hijinks.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I can't wait to be able to go back to Hijinks. I had to be cleared by my doctor. I do want to share with your audience because I shared it on Twitter.
Okay.
That I'm going to be away from Dolphins camp for a little bit because I suffered a detached retina in my left eye. And 4 months ago, I suffered a detached retina in my right eye. So unfortunately, I can't see very well right now. But I am still determined to cover the Miami Dolphins, write about the Miami Dolphins, appear on your show. And at some point, my eye health will return to a much better place. But I did not want to pass up the opportunity to return to your show today.
Yeah, no, definitely. And by the way, folks, he is seeing with the other eye, okay? It's not that he can't see. So he still covers the team, but he's watching with the other eye as the other eye recovers. So, yeah, he's had...
There was some Tua Tagovailoa jokes. Some people said, now I know why you can't see Tua's potential as a franchise quarterback. I appreciated that.
That is true. Now that you fixed your vision, you will now see the light, the Tua light. So that's good, and then eventually by the end of the year, who knows? You might just give Tua an A. Who knows? No, Sean says no. Sean says no. Sean says no shot. You'll give Tua an A. All right, I don't know. If Tua has 4,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns, does he get an A in Joe Shad's book?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
30 touchdowns and 4,000 passing yards, yes. I pledge to give him an A.
Well, look at that, bro. We see the vision isn't even correct, and he's already got a perfect out view. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. All right, Joe, at times we've gotten burned over, the last 25 years. Jimmy Johnson, we're going to be special. They bring in Parcells. We think things are going to get straightened out. They win the battle for Saban against a whole bunch of other teams. Adam Gase is the up-and-coming coordinator, this, that, the Peyton Manning offense, 5,000 yards. So we get excited, and then we get disappointed, and we get let down. And that's kind of been our lives. But it's happening again, Joe. And all the moves in the offseason made a lot of sense. Mike McDaniel, while geeky in his presence early on, I think people, after you talk to him, after you saw him carry himself, after you watch him connect with players, you kind of said, hey, man, maybe there's a method behind the madness here. So we're kind of getting inspired in the Dolphin Nation. But now we're watching the Vegas line jump up to 3.5. I'm watching people on the periphery. They're impressed with some of the things that Miami is doing. So talk to us, you of the periphery. What are you saying? What are you seeing? Should Dolphin fans be confident about this season?
Big O Dolphin fans should be confident. This is a playoff roster. I believe the Dolphins will go 10-7 and make the playoffs as a wild card, finishing behind Buffalo in the AFC East. This is clearly the most talented roster the Dolphins have had since Adam Gase's 2016 playoff season and his first campaign. But, I understand why Dolphins fans have some skepticism and some fear and some doubt. It is a fact that the last 9 Dolphins coaches, including 3 interim coaches, have a total of 0 playoff wins. 9 coaches, 0 playoff wins. What the Dolphins are banking on is the idea that McDaniel is a unique coach and a unique individual. And that's what I'm going to write about in my season preview Sunday column in the Palm Beach Post. I have some notes in front of me here, and I wrote down, Big O, that McDaniel is an intellectual but not an introvert. That he's a guy who has made it okay to laugh again, to smile again, to breathe again. He's brought positive energy and good vibes. But it's more than that. This is a guy who, yes, he cares about people and players and lets everyone know that, but he's really smart from an offensive scheme standpoint. And he's going to be the play caller, and he is bringing the 49ers offensive scheme. And because I believe the Dolphins defense will continue to be good with 95% of their snaps returning and their defensive coordinator returning, I believe the offense is going to be much improved, and I believe this team will be in the playoffs. I'm not going to go so far as one of my former colleagues at Newsday, the newspaper in Long Island, New York, who predicted the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl.
That's it. That's a smart man. I like that guy.
To win the Super Bowl.
That guy knows his shit, bro. That guy is the man right there.
So far.
I got. By the way, you said he's your buddy? You said he's your buddy?
Former colleague.
Okay, well, send me his cell number, bro. I got to get that guy on. He's an automatic friend of the program now, like a permanent friend of the program. Yes, Sean.
Well, I was going to say, did you see who he had as the NFC opponent?
Was it Philly?
Yeah, it was the Philadelphia Eagles. It was the Dolphins and the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. Well, he got a little crazy on that one, but, I can see the Dolphin one, not the Eagle one, but I can see the Dolphin. I can see the Finns soaring to the Super Bowl, but the Eagles, no, I don't think so. But either way, we got to get the guy on just because why not? That would be a lot of fun to get him on. But anyway, I like your thinking that they got a shot at winning 10 games and getting there. Did Belichick get nervous on us here? Did he flinch here because he's panicking, bro? He came here early. He rented a field out in Palm Beach Gardens that doesn't even have a football field. And he's, you really aren't going to, Joe, I've been here 50 years. You don't get acclimated to this heat by hanging out for a couple days. That's not going to happen. So
yeah, I heard the Patriots players aren't happy about that decision. And so, the Patriots have been soldiers. They fall into line. And now maybe they're not so happy about this decision. I think Belichick realizes his team isn't very good. And I think he realizes that his offense, the Matt Patricia offense, is going to be an absolute disaster. And so that's why you hear him saying things that he doesn't usually say, complimenting people. When Belichick compliments people, he's not feeling good about things.
Yeah. No, dude, when they asked him about what he expects from the Miami offense, did you hear his answer? I was floored that he told them that much. Like, well, he's been in San Francisco, so I'm expecting that. I'm expecting the Shanahan stuff. I'm going to look back at at Tyreek in Kansas City. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, wow. Most of the other answers were short and all that, but there was like an elaboration. I was like, wow. And to me, this is so un-Belichick-like. And I would understand that the players would be uncomfortable because you've taken them actually completely out of a routine now by doing this. And now you've put them in a strange bed now for several nights, not like normal that they're sleeping in their bed all week and then they leave on a Saturday afternoon to have one night of, not sleeping in your bed. That's a whole different ballgame.
The Dolphins should be favored by more than 3.5 points. You could find 2.5 points at some point.
Wow.
Now it's up to 3.5 in some places. Usually the lines aren't quite as big in week one as they should be. I think it's a good opportunity to bet the favorites across the board in the National Football League because I think that, the odds makers just don't want to post huge odds in that first game. You remember when the Dolphins were hammered by the Ravens. I think that was in Brian Flores' first game.
Yeah.
The line should have been bigger. The line in this game should be bigger. I know it's tough to bet. I'm not suggesting that folks bet, but it should be bigger.
Over and under Dolphins rushing line for the team, 120 yards.
That's about right. The Patriots are a little bit vulnerable through the air. They lost J.C. Jackson. Stephon Gilmore is not around anymore, of course. They don't have the kind of players they once had back there. So I think it's going to be
safeties. They've got safeties. Yeah. They don't have their corners are Jalen Mills and what's the other guy's name? I mean,
Jonathan Joseph or something.
Yeah, Jonathan Joseph. Like they're all right. They're not bad players. They're all right. I like their safeties. I think they're better at safety. But yeah, their corners are a little. I think you can attack, but that's why I think the run's going to be so important because obviously with McDaniel, if you're using that run, to offset it and to kind of get them off balance, that's where your passing is going to be massive. So that's why I ask you, will the Dolphins go over or under 120 rushing yards in this game?
I wouldn't touch that. My fear is that they'll go under. I think the Patriots are going to load up the box and force Tua to prove that he can throw the ball intermediate and deep.
Okay. All right. And you think what about that? Will Tua succeed doing that?
I mean, he's throwing at Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, Mike Gesicki, Chase Edmonds, and Raheem Mostert. So, guys are going to be open, and I expect Tua to hit them at a high completion percentage. So, you don't need to complete 2 50-yard passes to Tyreek Hill every Sunday to win a football game.
No. He'll make it a 50-yarder. You just complete a 10-yarder. He'll make it 50. Don't worry about that. Let him make it 50. You don't have to throw
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's yards after catch numbers were not very high last year, which are weird. I mean, listen, we know that the Dolphins offense mostly consisted of throwing 7-yard passes to Jalen Waddle. But the yards after catch, that's been a big point of emphasis for Mike McDaniel
I
expect to see a big jump.
I think you're talking about two players that get bracketed a lot. So at least when they do catch it, there's two people in the area to tackle them. Because
But now you can't put two on bowl.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why this thing becomes very interesting now. Because if you want to pick your poison and you want to roll the free safety over to Tyreek, then that's fine, dude. Then Waddle's going to work it. Cedric's got speed at the slot, not the Waddle Tyreek type speed, but he is deceiving. He'll get behind you also, and then Gesicki's also playmaker, and then you've got those running backs coming out of the backfield. They've got a lot of speed. That's a pain in the ass to keep up with all of that, and that was their plan. That was their plan. Use all that speed, spread it out on the field, and there's going to be a mismatch somewhere, and there's going to be somebody open because nobody can stay with Tyreek and Waddle while they're cutting all the time. Last year, Waddle proved it. He was all by himself, and he still couldn't stop him. He still caught up. I mean, look, man, when you're a great receiver, you're a great receiver. You knew Cooper Kupp was going to get it yesterday, and he caught 13 freaking balls, dude. 13. If you know how to get open.
Big O, if the Dolphins if the Dolphins are league average, 16 or better, ideally top 14, but league average in points per game and yards per game, they will be in the playoffs. Write that down. They will be in the playoffs. All this offense needs to be is league average because the defense is very good. I am a little worried about the absence of Byron Jones and do you use Igbenogany or Crossan or Kohu. I actually need him on the outside and Kohu in the slot. No, I know nobody knows who Kohu is, but this guy's quite good actually.
Yeah,
young drafted rookie guy from Division II Texas A&M Commerce. I would have personally more confidence in that than Igbenogany, but I think maybe the Dolphins want to give Igbenogany the chance, and if necessary, you yank him at halftime and throw Crossan or Kohu out there.
It's interesting every year now, right? Needham 1 year, Tro Williams the second, and now here comes Kader Kohu. And it's like, okay, so every year they're going to try to get, find some under the radar DB that you're like, and you have to pay attention now to every DB they bring in because they seem to have some kind of a touch in finding the elite guys and the under the radar guys, really.
Especially Josh Boyer. Josh Boyer, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He coached at small schools, the School of the Mines and Bryant and things like that. And Kader Kohu told me that this guy spent a ton of time with him on Zoom.
Okay.
Going down plays and all this stuff. I mean, that just tells you about Josh Boyer's work ethic, commitment to uncovering guys like Kader Kohu.
It's great.
Kader Kohu knew that if he was not drafted, he was probably going to go to the Dolphins. He could have gone to 19 teams.
Right.
He went to the Dolphins because Boyer spent all this time with him.
Yeah.
Very interesting backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an interesting kid, man. And mature as hell too, man. One more thing before I let you go. Do you expect the Patriots, because this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to attack the crap out of the Dolphins and try to run the hell out of them like they did in that Bills game that they had. Not that Mac Jones is going to throw the ball 3-4 times. He's probably going to throw a lot more than that. But what I mean is I think they're going to want to really test Miami and control the game on the ground and keep Tyreek Hill off the damn field. I kind of think they're really going to try to they're going to try to get to 200 yards, put it that way. That's the kind of game I think the Patriots want to have against the Dolphins on Sunday. Run the hell out of the ball. Agree or disagree on that?
No, I agree. Josh Boyer wants to anticipate that the Patriots are going to try to run the football, and it makes sense. Listen, if the Patriots spread out.
Oop, we lost you there. You broke up. Oh, wait a minute. You broke up there. Hold on. No? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're breaking up there.
Back on the field.
There, we lost him. No? Oh, okay. You there?
If Jerome Baker is the only linebacker on the field because the Patriots have spread out the Dolphins defense, and the thumping middle linebacker, or Landon Roberts, who's their best tackler and downhill linebacker, is off the field, that could create an advantage for the Patriots offense.
All right. Well, we'll see if they end up doing that. Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. Catch him twice a week here. He'll be back post game on Sunday. He'll join us and give us the wrap and give us his opinion on what he saw with the Patriots and the Miami Dolphins with our Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Joe, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a great weekend. Feel better, and look forward to Sunday, man. Should be a lot of fun.
Great to be back. It'll be fun. See you, Big O.
You got it. Thank you, Joe. There you go. Joe Shad, baby. He'll be back with us on. How about that? Joe's got him winning 10 games. He was kind of positive about the Dolphins. He thinks 3.5. The line is too low. He's going to give Tua an A if he goes 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. You better give him an A if he goes 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. I mean, come on, bro. He actually gave Hijinks an A for their those chicken wings do sound good. Yeah, he does talk.
He was talking about them, the wings.
Right? Yeah, he was talking about them before. Yeah. Yes. And welcome aboard, Hijinks. Thank you. Brooklyn Rob says, "I guess the time off has changed, Joe. He's back on the Tua train for at least for a week or two. At least he's on the Tua train. We'll see." Absolutely try to shorten the game with time of possession. Oh yeah, there's no doubt, Thomas. I am convinced he's going to try to run the shit out of the ball. Yeah, he's going to try to just pound the crap out of the Dolphins. That's what he's going to try to do. I am convinced of that. By the way, if you want to live on the edge right there, all you got to do is go to myedgedrink.com. That's the website. Use our code Big O. The finest energy drink on the planet. And I love the great John does just an awesome job. This is an energy drink that I know is just slowly but surely, it's building up. It's going to take over the market when people see it, because all of these energy drinks, they've got this aftertaste. When they taste Edge and they see it's delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste, they're going to go, this is awesome. In fact, the other day, I forgot to mention this about Edge. It's also thirst quenching. I was sweating my ass off, all right, working the yard with the wife, picking up some stuff and all that. You know, I'm out there for 20, 30 minutes, and I'm just I'm the sprinkler system. Okay, all I got to do is go like this, and then it's just water all over the lawn and everything. And, you know, it's probably not good because it's salty water. But either way, I'm just saying. And so I went and I reached for an Edge because I said, you know what, I'll pick up a little extra energy along the way. And as I'm drinking it and being hot as hell, it was also thirst quenching. And I was going, you know what? I got to add thirst quenching to delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Okay, so try it. It's a great elixir. I like to mix it up with a little Grey Goose. Oh, God, the vodka disappears. I don't know about that combination, but it's so beautiful. It just disappears, man. It's awesome. Go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O. Get 10% off. You can't get it in any store. So you've got to order it online, and it'll come right to your doorstep right there. myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off. Use our code Big O. There you go for a little Edge energy drink. Delicious, smooth, zero aftertaste, and thirst quenching. Love it. All right, we're going to have Mike McDaniel on, the head coach of your Miami Dolphins. By the way, at the top of the hour, Scott Pianowski is going to join us. So if you have fantasy football questions, send them in. All right, on the chat board, send them in on the text line at 855-912-1056. You got lineup questions? Send them in. Remember, Mondays and Fridays, Yahoo Sports, Andy Behrens on Monday, Scott Pianowski on Friday. Okay? I was thinking they do it for like a half a season, and the other half we switch them around. So the other one does the Monday, the other one does the Friday. They don't know that yet, but I'm going to bring that up to them. That way they kind of get the feel of doing the second half of it all. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, these fantasy reports are year-round now. They'll go through the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Then we'll go into free agency. Then we'll go into mini camps and all that stuff and injuries that happen and all the changes. And then we'll go into the preseason, training camp, all that stuff the following year. So it's year round thanks to our Sports Grill Fantasy Football Zone. It's a beautiful thing, man. So there you go. Karen says, breaking news, Big O. After yesterday's game, Kevin Durant has requested a trade to the Buffalo Bills. There you go. Not bad. That would give him a chance to win. Yeah, I like it. Bills looking scary last night, says Brett. Their D-line is nasty. We have to be able to control the trenches and run the football. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Big O, I needed an excuse to drink. Have to try the energy drink and vodka mix. I'll let you know. Oh, God. John, you won't even wait till Monday or you won't even wait for any of the shows. You'll send me a tweet right away after you try that. After you try Edge and the vodka, it'll blow you away, dude. Blow you away. So awesome. myedgedrink.com. Try it. I promise you. It is so damn good. I hate energy drinks. Can't stand them. They all have this aftertaste. This one has none. It's the only reason why I drink it. No aftertaste. It's delicious. 78 calories too. Joke. Like all the other things are positive, right? And maybe some of the other energy drinks might have some positives, but they have the damn aftertaste. Ugh. God, I hate it. Ugh. Let's see, Big O. It's so hot in Miami. Robert Kraft is going inside massage parlors just for air conditioning. Well, that's the reason why he was here early. He was here for the massage parlor. That's it. Did you see that O.J. Simpson was at the game yesterday? Do you think that O.J. yesterday at the Rams game, do you think he just took a cruise by Brentwood? You know, they do say criminals visit the scene of the crime. Just saying. Isn't that how he ends all his tweets? I'm just saying. Does he reminisce? Is he playing Sunday Bloody Sunday or something as he drives by Brentwood? Just wondering. I love it. He's back in L.A. I'm wondering how many people are like, oh, no. I mean, there's a lot of crap going on anyways in California. It's a lot of crime also. So it's not just OJ. But OJ back in L.A. that's, I don't know. I don't know if you want OJ in any neighborhood. I remember I ran into him once in Kendall. We were at south of the border. Right. Yeah. I don't think it exists anymore. Right there off of Kendall Drive and 117th or whatever it is. You know, there's a Bahama Breeze there also. Fat people know food places. That's our landmarks. That's how we guide you everywhere. We tell you, hey, listen, you go down 5 blocks, you see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, you hang a right. And then you go down a mile, right? And there's a BK. Make a left there, and you go down maybe about 100 yards, and it's right next to the Bojangles. That's a fat person telling you all kinds of ways to drive and landmarks. Oh, yeah, I went to it. Yeah, it's right next to that restaurant. Yeah. Oh, it's next to the Krispy Kreme. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how we remind you of all that stuff. So I'm just wondering. So I run into him on the border, and I didn't even say hi to the guy or anything. And so there was like a couple people in front of us or something. There was like some group there or something at the same time. And he like kind of said, oh, excuse me. And he had to cut through, right? And as he cut through, he looks at both of us and he kind of looks at my wife. And I'm like, oh no. I said, that's it. I gotta watch out now. O.J. Simpson was a Buffalo Bill. Speaks volumes. Let's see. Let's worry about the Pats and not the Bills for now. Ran into OJ at calendar night at Plantation Hooters 2 weeks before my wedding in 94, before the murders. I always love the people. Hey, can I take a picture? Why do you want to take a picture with the dude? I'm just wondering. I'm just saying. Yeah, OJ killed it at the game last night. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if you've gone to Rams games, those people, they attack each other all the time there. No coach yet? So coach is on Cuban time, huh? Oh, wow. So we're awaiting the head coach. The problem is now we've got Scott Pianowski. So send in the fantasy questions. Okay? You got fantasy questions? Send them in right now. You can send them in, by the way, also on Twitter at Big O Show. We got it there for you. And then put them here on the YouTube chat board. He's there? There we go. We're going to go to Mike McDaniel, head coach of your Miami Dolphins. Ready? And here we go. Go for it.
Press box at lunch. And my birth side.
Oh, see, that's a flex right there.
Leave me on the small screen talking.
You tracked all three, like a professional would. So yeah.
I have a difficult question and an easy one. Which one do you want first?
Either one. Just the fact that you stipulated there are two. I think no, but we have a good group of people here, so they respect that you have two, so we can do one.
There are two questions today. So the easy one is the qualities that you saw in Liam that made you think this could be a good NFL left guard.
Starting from college, you're saying?
Yeah, after you arrived,
because
we
were
tape.
Well, we had him targeted in San Francisco at guard, and then so really. When you end up targeting a player in the draft, you're looking at everybody, but then you're taking a pool of players that you see something in, and you're deep diving further, so you know more about those players than anybody. And it was his attention to detail, his aggressive but composed play. You can see when people, on third down, especially, are very erratic. He was consistent with his technique, and he understood angles, and played with good pad level. And then we also had a cheat code. We had a teammate of his, Mike McGlinchey, that, so we got to know about all those Golden Domers. And then, it was like a lot of the players, on the offense, not just the offensive line, but just in general, it was a little tricky when we got here and we're, evaluating them just with the distinctive difference in the style of play and concepts that are doing. So we wanted to be open-minded and had a gut, a lot based on the college evaluation. So kind of went with that and didn't want to pigeonhole, didn't want to prejudge stuff when I was looking at something that didn't really apply to what we try to do. So that being said, gave him the opportunity to start at left guard to start. And that started as an opportunity, and then he won the job. We didn't have a ton of, as you guys know, movement with that starting crew. That wasn't by design. It was just by, a collection of people having a gut, and then the players proving that gut right. Hard question, go.
Okay, and the hard question, just if you're able to share yet, do you have a sense yet whether Eric Rowe with the pectoral, Van Ginkel off the appendix will be available Sunday?
I mean, did Coach Belichick just give you those questions to ask? I mean, I get that I'm a rookie head coach, but I mean, come on.
Like they're listing.
No, so the much like training camp, but this much I do know. As you guys know, I fully share as much as possible because I respect what you guys are trying to do. But with regard to injuries, we'll take it day by day, and really it's the you can really stick to that old that limited, and we'll chew on that one and make it a game time decision. We good?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
no, I do understand.
Yeah,
Obviously, those are two rotational pieces, so they're competitive issues.
Yeah, no, and like my birth certificate says 1983, not yesterday.
Yeah. And Raekwon Davis popped up on the injury.
He did.
Yeah, was something that occurred in yesterday's practice.
Yeah, there was a little something that we're taking a look at, and we'd really think that we have enough good players on the team, so we don't want to put a player out there that might not be able to do right, wouldn't be doing right by him if he wouldn't be able to be full go. So we'll see how he reacts today and make that decision then. But yeah, it was something that we that kind of popped up yesterday, and that we'll see really how much the ramifications are after he gets moving today.
Mike, I know things are on a case-by-case, game-by-game basis. I've heard you say that.
They are.
But do you have a realistic ideal on number of plays that you want to run per game and a run-pass mixture?
I've never really thought about the number of plays. You would like to possess the ball more than the other team does, but sometimes that's not a bad thing if you're so there are the outliers where you're just scoring in short periods of time. I've never looked at it like that. I think that I will never I'll always stay true to the game and try to call plays relative to what the defense is presenting, but also how the game's going on all phases. Those are the things that you can kind of dictate. Unless they are completely zeroed out and having 11 people in the box, I always try to, I really believe in dictating the terms on offense. You run the ball. So you in your mind, you're trying to get, mid 20s to 30 runs, but you never just commit to that because you got to do what's best. So again, case by case in that regard. Outside of that, you just try to have things work and not turn the ball over. And then the game progresses in whatever way it wants to progress after that.
This offseason, you've alluded to, the rabid Dolphins fan base, how grateful you are for this opportunity as a head coach. I know you don't want to shortchange the process. 2 days out, have you allowed yourself to maybe think a little bit or prepare for the emotions of coming out of the tunnel, that opening kickoff, and the national anthem? Have you thought about that stuff at all 2 days out?
It's actually what I tried to tackle. I'm a little obsessive when it comes to being intentional and doing my job and understanding what my job is. So I did over the break think it was important for me to put myself there, to intentionally think about that stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised. But really, when I talk about like as a head coach, the responsibility that you have to each and every member of the organization, to the players, and to the fan base. Me personally, I don't really allow myself to go anywhere but what is my job for that. So I know in the national anthem, like every game that really I've been in the NFL since, it's kind of been my routine since 2011. During the national anthem, I try to take in all of that. Honestly, with the duty that I have to the team, I don't expect that to feel any different. That moment beyond, I'm so grateful and thankful to be here, because if I was approaching this game like, oh, well, this is a big game, because that is straying from my true beliefs, where this has nothing to do with me. I'm part of a team. Whatever my job is, I have to execute that job. But fundamentally, I'd feel like something was askew if I made this out to be anything other than week one, which is, there's a lot of investment that goes into the week one, but that's the same as it is every year to me. So my role has changed, but I don't expect my emotions to change, because if I got a hint of that, I would get really pissed at myself, because this is not about me. This is about the Miami Dolphins.
Coach, your first 5 opponents are conference opponents. So getting off to a good start obviously is pivotal. How do you tell your coaching staff to keep them focused, to get the players focused, to getting off to a good start, because knowing how vital it is?
Yeah, I really look at it like a pie chart, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a NBA 3-point competition. Okay, so you have in those competitions, you have basketballs, right? And every shot counts for 1. And then you have those colored balls that count for more. It's like 2 or whatever. And so you have 17 games, all important. There's 6 games that have a little more value, but they're still very important. I mean, to me, at the beginning, I've started seasons 1-0 and haven't made the playoffs. Been 0-1, been in the Super Bowl. Last year we were 3-5 at the team I was on before, and we ended up going to the championship game. So it starts from the beginning about, okay, what are you doing? It's why I emphasize so much deliberate, intentional, present mindset, because it's more about, we're on the field in an NFL game. How many opportunities does a coach or a player have like that? It's finite. It doesn't feel finite when you're in the moment, but I remind people it is finite for everybody. Hey, listen, this just in, I think we're at the half-life of the sun. So in 4.5 billion years, the sun's going to blow up. Okay. Everything is finite. So you don't go and say, hey, it's important to start fat. It's important to put everything into preparation to put yourself in the best position to win a game, because if you don't do all the things that you can control, what you don't want to do is have 1, 2, or start accumulating game day experiences where you're like, in hindsight, I should have done more. That's what I focus on.
Do you have any catch this next team? And if so, think of one team that you're going to face twice this year.
You don't say their name out loud? That's respect.
You didn't say 49.
No, it was. I brought it up to the team.
PPR, Draft, Keeper, Dynasty. It's the Sports Grill Fantasy Football Zone with Yahoo Sports' Scott Pianowski. Keep up with your fantasy football teams by visiting any of the 8 great Sports Grill locations. Sports Grill, good food, good drink, good friends. Here's Scott Pianowski.
There he is, and he is back. Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing, Mr. Pianowski? We are back together.
Yeah, great to be back. Reunited feels so good. NFL's ahead. Next 4 months is what we're going to be doing: grinding, waivers, trades, pickups, start, sit decisions. Hopefully, a playoff berth and a championship down the road. Look. I love all sports, but the NFL is the king of the American sports landscape. So it's basically like Christmas all week.
Yeah, and listen, we've done this in the past with you, me, and Andy, and we do twice a week, which is something that people normally don't do. Now we're even switching it up. Now we're doing it year round with our Sports Grill Fantasy Football Zone. So now we'll take people all the way through, even their daily leagues during the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and then keeper and dynasty leagues. Now this is the show for you because we're going to carry you through the off season with free agency and the draft, and then all the mini camps, and sadly the injuries that happen and how it changes the fantasy landscape. And then we get right back in the training camp and the preseason, and we're back again. So we're taking it to another level now, Scott. So it's pretty cool. This is a cool way of doing it now. This is the hardcore way of doing it year round now.
Yeah, the NFL is a 12-month, calendar. It's there's no days off. Free agency, the combine, the draft is gigantic. And this year especially, there are challenges because so many players have changed teams, right? Tyreek Hill's on the Dolphins, and Devontae Adams is on the Raiders, and Russell Wilson's on the Broncos. And there's been a lot of movement, obviously a lot of player movement, a lot of coaching movement. We just saw the Dolphins head coach talking for a while. The sun's in its half-life, by the way. I'm not sure if you knew that. But so the NFL I say it's a snow globe league because you shake things up. There are teams. I mean, Tennessee was the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. I have them missing the playoffs. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
The Colts are the favorite in that division, but that's the way the NFL works. The Rams won the Super Bowl. The Rams looked like a pretty disorganized football team last night. That's the NFL. Would you be at all surprised if the Rams were a 9-8 team or a 10-7 team? Maybe last night was more about Buffalo being good. Let's be fair about that. The Bills are a heck of a football team. But the NFL, there's going to be just craziness. If you were to leave the country for a month and come back, I'd be like, oh, wow, these 5 marquee guys are hurt. These 3 teams look terrible. These really bad teams are all undefeated. And that's why we love it, because it's the most unpredictable of sports. It's not like some other sports where, the Dodgers are good again. Okay, I love baseball, but the same teams I feel like win in baseball.
Yeah.
In football, anybody can win. Why can't the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs? Or why can't I don't know. Maybe the Jaguars are competitive this year. The Lions are getting a little bit of steam, in part because they were on Hard Knocks, and Campbell is an interesting quote. But the NFL has the best model because everybody can compete. Anybody can be good. Anybody can be bad. It doesn't matter how big your city is. There's no real financial advantages from team to team, and that makes the game very compelling.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And folks, if you have questions, post them right now on our YouTube chat board. I will scroll and try to find the questions for you. You need to rack those things up right now. You can also send it in on our text line at 855-912-1056. I'm going to pull that up here because that's a lot easier to read and find on the text line at 855-912-1056. And also on my Twitter page at Big O Show, you can also send it. And of course, you see it there. You can follow Scott on Twitter at Scott_Pianowski. That's what I and many other fantasy players do. First of all, let me talk a little Dolphins fantasy. What is reality in your eyes for fantasy? Because obviously, in your hometowns, whether it's Chicago or Miami or New York or Los Angeles, people are going to be biased about their own players. So we know lots of drafts in South Florida probably have a little biased Dolphins slant. So from an outsider's point of view, who do you really like in fantasy? Who are starters out of the Dolphins lineup in your eyes?
When you mix potential return with what the ADP was, what the draft cost was, the Dolphins player I have the most of is Chase Edmonds. They prioritized him in free agency. They gave him a big contract. They gave him a contract very early in free
Yeah.
agency. There's other talented backs here. Raheem Mostert's a good player, but I think they paid Edmonds to be a primary guy. He was more efficient than James Conner last year. Conner had the great fantasy year because he scored all the touchdowns, but I mean, he averaged something like 3.6 yards a carry. He didn't really have a great season. He just was falling in from the 2-yard line. I'd like to see Edmonds stay healthy, of course. I mean, running backs is a huge position with injuries, but he's the player I drafted into the most. And you guys know this. I don't need to. I feel like anytime I talk about the Dolphins on this show, you guys are going to know this stuff as well as I do, probably better. But this is the year we're going to get a referendum on Tua. You know, they added Tyreek Hill. He's a field stretcher. They have year 2 of Jalen Waddle. They beefed up the running back room. It's a new coaching staff. It's an exciting. I was a Flores guy, but I like the new coaching staff too. It's an exciting offense. The 49ers offense comes in. So if Tua is a long-term answer here, we're going to find out. And if he's not, and if they need to reboot, we're going to find that out too. And the great thing about Tyreek Hill is that he's just, and again, you guys know all this, but I'll say it anyway. Even when he's not catching passes, he scares the pants off the defense because we saw this with Randy Moss when he was a rookie, where the defensive shift in the NFL became, okay, we can't allow an 80-yard touchdown in every play because Randy Moss will do that to us.
Right.
Tyreek Hill's that kind of guy. We saw teams start to change how they defended the Chiefs last year. They started going in that 2-deep shell because they were petrified Tyreek Hill was going to run behind them.
Have you ever watched him practice?
I haven't.
Well, that's the first thing I was able to do this year, right? To watch him practice. He's impossible to cover.
You can't cover him.
There is no way any one human being can cover that guy. The only guy I can think of is maybe Dion that might be able to stay with him. But outside of that, I don't remember a corner. There's no such thing. That's why you're going to have to bracket him every time. And if you do that, then, Waddle and all these other guys are going to be alone, and that's going to be a field day. Hell, Waddle had nobody last year, and you still couldn't stop him from catching 100 balls. Can you imagine now with Tyreek on the field? And Scott, it is a thing to marvel. The second he plants his foot, and remember, he cuts at high rates of speed.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us human beings, we've got to slow down a little bit and make a cut, that kind of. No, dude, this guy's cutting on dimes at high rates of speed. And the second he cuts, he has 3-4 yards of separation already, because when he cuts the DB, it takes him so long to react that there is separation already because he has exploded into another direction. It is impressive watching Tyreek Hill.
It's a great observation. A lot of times when we think of the guys who hit the home runs, the guys who have the really high yards per catch, a lot of those guys are just running 9 routes. They're running straight down the field. And we don't think of them as route runners. But you make a great point. I mean, Hill moves so well laterally, and he can kill you on drag routes. And again, because they're so petrified of getting beat over the top,
right?
He gives you those 4 or 5 hard steps like he's going deep, goes over the middle, and then he's wide open. And then you have a catch and run situation. You can make a chunk play that way. He runs a very diverse route tree. He's not just a one-trick pony. Like you think of Valdez-Scantling went to Kansas City. They're trying to replace Tyreek with a collection of guys. They're going to ask him to run deep routes. They're not going to ask him to run the whole route tree. But Tyreek Hill runs the whole route tree, and as you said, there's no right way to cover him. And that means Jalen Waddle is going to be open for a lot of football games. Waddle caught 106, I think it was last year. I see no reason why he won't be over 100 again. And he's certainly approved for fantasy. I don't have as much Waddle as I'd like to because other people get the draft too. A lot of sophomore receivers are really interesting targets this year. Rashard Bateman in Baltimore, Elijah Moore in New York. But, I mean, Jalen Waddle's already done it. With Bateman, that's on spec. With Moore, that's on spec. Some of these other guys. Jalen Waddle just caught 106 passes, and now they have a more threatening offense. Yeah, it's wheels up for me. In fact, I also think Miami's a great bet this week. You want to play the Patriots early?
Yeah.
New England had a lot of problems this summer. Bill Belichick's a great coach. Will he figure it out? I think so. Will he figure it out in week 1? I don't think so. Who's running this offense? Is it Matt Patricia? Is it Joe Judge? Who's there? They don't really have a number 1 receiver. They have a lot of good 2 and 3s. Devontae Parker, as you guys know, he's a solid player. Jacoby Myers, solid player. Kendrick Bourne's a solid player. There's no lead singer. There's no Tyreek Hill on that offense. There's no Jalen Waddle on this offense. I think they're getting a break drawing the Patriots right now. We know New England has not traditionally played well in the Miami stop on their schedule. I think Miami's – and look, it's a new coaching staff with Miami. There's a lot of change there. So with teams backing off preseason – you don't know. Some of these games will be a little bit sloppy this week. They might look almost like preseason or exhibition games because teams don't take those seriously anymore. But I think Miami got a break drawing the Patriots now. I would want to play this team before they start figuring out what's wrong with them. Belichick is a great MacGyver. He'll fix it. He'll put scotch tape and glue and chicken wire on things. But I don't think they can fix it in time for week 1.
And it's funny you said that that with Tyreek gone, they're going to use several players to replace him. That's exactly what I've been saying about the Dolphin offense. Because, we had a lot of these crazy Dolphin fans who were like, oh, no, we need to go also after Deebo Samuel. And I was like, did you watch the offseason? They got Deebo Samuel. They did. Alec Ingold will play Deebo Samuel, and so will Chase, and so will Raheem Mostert, and so will Tyreek, and so will Waddle, and so will Cedric Wilson. Everybody is going to play the Deebo Samuel role. The thing is, instead of wearing out one guy, it'll be different guys that'll play the different roles. That running part, well, maybe Azukama does a little bit of that. The big kid from K-State that has looked, really, really good. Maybe Ingold will do some of that inside running. The bubble screen stuff, well, that'll be Waddle and Tyreek. What they did with Deebo, it's actually ridiculous to give him that money because you're going to only get injured playing that way. But this way is actually the better way, where now the load isn't on one guy. Now it's 6-7 different guys. And that's what I saw in the way they constructed this team. Deebo will be here. His spirit will be here, but it'll be spilled out over several players. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, in fantasy, we call that spread the risk, right? Having all your eggs in one basket. And some of these guys, we have to accept there'll be a gap. A player like Cedric Wilson will be a lot more valuable in real life than he will be in fantasy. He may not put up the fantasy numbers that make him viable in our game, but man, he made a lot of splash plays for the Cowboys. I thought he was a really good ad. And again, what are you asking him to do? You're asking him to be the third, the fourth, the fifth piece of an offense. And you can't look. It doesn't make sense to pay once you bring in Hill, and you have Waddle. He'll eventually want a second contract. You're going to have to deal with Tua's contract and all that. It just doesn't make sense. You can't have your roster structured where you pay 3 or 4 guys and then you scraps the rest of your roster. So I thought it made perfect sense the way they did it. And also, I'll mention, since you mentioned Deebo, he's my favorite NFL player who I didn't draft this year because what he did last year was an unsustainable business model. It doesn't make sense to use a receiver as a running back that much to expose him to the hits that he's going to get exposed to. He didn't want to do it himself. I don't blame him. Wonderful player. Drafted early in the second round, none for me. And speaking of,
and by the way, a risk that if he wants to not play that way, and then he wants to be a traditional receiver, well, he doesn't have a long track record of being a great traditional receiver. He has,
in the second half last year, Brandon Ayuk had better receiving numbers. I don't think a lot of people realize that. I'm not saying Ayuk's better than Deebo.
No, I know what you're saying.
Player. But the point is, he was a hybrid last year in a not sustainable way. And you got to be careful with these hits. I watched this Buffalo game last night, and the Bills are in control of the game, and they're running read option with Josh Allen. I'm thinking, what are you doing? He's the one guy you can't replace. You're screwed if Josh Allen gets hurt, and you have a really good team that could go to the Super Bowl, and you're telling me you want him to get hit in a game where you're already ahead by 14 points, and it's basically run out the clock time. Sometimes these coaches get too cute for their own good. With Allen, I get it. He's a competitor. You put him out there, he's just the instincts are going to take over. They're going to want to run for the extra yards. They're going to want to take on the contact, but they need to be smarter, man. You can't, in a game that's already salted away, why expose your franchise, your one irreplaceable guy to that extra contact? I just don't understand it.
All right, you guys, let's go. We're going to get your fantasy questions now. Send it in on the YouTube chat board there. You can send it in on the text line at 855-912-1056. And you can also send it in on our Twitter page at Big O Show. All right, who should I start in a PPR flex position 10-team PPR league? Juju Smith, Miko Hardiman, or Chase Claypool? Pat Mahomes is the QB.
Yeah, it has to be Juju. I think Hardman's just going to be a specialty player. And we're worried that Chase Claypool may have been passed on the pecking order by George Pickens, who had a very explosive summer, I should say, for the Steelers. How did the Steelers do this? Everybody else has trouble drafting, and the Steelers find these interesting receivers outside of the first round time and time again. And maybe Pickens won't explode until you.
I don't know, but if I'm Belichick, I would find out who's the dude that picks receivers for Pittsburgh and pay him 10 times what he makes there and say, listen, all I want you to do every year is draft me a receiver because I can't find one for my life If I depended on it, I'd be dead in the water. I mean, that you just were talking about the Patriot receivers, and then when you mentioned Cedric Wilson, I was going, the Patriot receivers are maybe at the level of Cedric Wilson or under. That's the best that they can get. They don't have anything like Waddle and Tyreek. So that tells you right there. Belichick is one dude that needs whoever it is in Pittsburgh that knows how to find receivers, bro.
Oh, man. A lot of people in the league do, but certainly Belichick. And the one year that they finally spent a first-round pick on a receiver, because remember, they took Terry Glenn in the 90s, and then they didn't take a first-round receiver for 2 decades. And then they take the plunge on N'Keal Harry when they could have had Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin. I go on and on. I mean, there are all these hits in that draft.
Chad Jackson.
Harry.
Remember they took Chad Jackson in the first round. Sure. I mean, they have screwed up so much at wide receiver on that team. It's amazing. Think about it. Edelman was a quarterback that they converted.
Right. Yeah, they love their former quarterbacks. Mohamed Sanu was on the team for a while. Former quarterback Jacoby Myers for a while.
Trey Brown came out of the
defensive back.
Yeah, dude, and it's
underrated
like
Patriot. Maybe should have been the MVP of their first Super Bowl win. Myers for a while had more touchdown throws than touchdown catches. Back to the reader question. Juju's a tough guy to call, but he's going to command the targets in the middle of the field. I think he's probably looking at maybe a 70, 75 catch season, 950 yards, something like 6-7 touchdowns. I think he'll have a good season. I don't think he'll be a star by any means, but of the 3 guys that the listener had on his roster, Juju was certainly the preference. I would give Juju a few weeks and see how he runs with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
All right, Tony Zagala says pick one: Ertz, Devonta Smith, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Man, if Ertz were healthy, I'd be tempted to go there. Devonta Smith's going to be tricky because they have A.J. Brown, could be a target monster. Dallas Goedert was the most efficient tight end on a per-target basis last year. Smith's going to have a lot of those boom-bust games. There's going to be weeks he has 13 yards, and there's going to be weeks he hits the home run. Now, there's a guy who's going to be running the deep clear-out routes. But because Ertz isn't healthy, and because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they don't trust him so much, they kept like 17 running backs there. They have Pacheco, they have Ronald Jones, they have Jerick McKinnon. Maybe he'll do something interesting with a third-down role. So it's a weak vote to Devonta Smith. Just understand he's going to be a peaks and valley type of receiver.
Jason Myers, standard league. Should I start A.J. Green, Tony, Josh Palmer, or Tolbert? 3 wide receiver league.
Josh Palmer is my favorite, by far, my favorite wide receiver 3 in the league. Because if anything happens to Allen, anything happens to Mike Williams, it's wheels up. Justin Herbert is 1 or 2 on just about everybody's quarterback board right now. I don't know how many targets maybe Palmer gets if everybody's healthy, but I think he's going to be on the field enough that he'd be the preference in this question. But a lot of you out there probably can pick up Palmer and stash him on your bench. Maybe you wouldn't use him in week 1. We generally think of your bench as the running back handcuffs, the running back lottery tickets, and that's perfectly plausible. I want you to have a lot of those. But try to find some room for Josh Palmer, because if somebody gets hurt in front of him, this guy could be a top 25 receiver.
Mahomes or Rodgers?
It's going to be Mahomes. Who's Aaron Rodgers thrown to? Devontae Adams is gone. I mean, we're hoping that Sammy Watkins, Sammy Watkins' season is usually week 1, and then he fades into obscurity. Watkins is on this team. Cobb's on this team. A couple of rookies who haven't proven anything. Rodgers has already called those guys out. This Green Bay offense is going to be about Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and I know Minnesota's defense is a little shaky. I do actually really like Minnesota's offense. Kevin O'Connell, they get a remodel at the right time. Rodgers is a wizard, but you got to have some help downfield, and I just don't see it right now. We're not even sure if Allen Lazard's going to play in week 1. Mahomes would be my weekly start. I wouldn't even think about that. Okay.
By the way, Sage also had a question. Should I trade T. Higgins for Waddle?
I mean, they're pretty close. I
know. It's 2 loaded receiving cores.
In a PPR format, I'd probably prefer Waddle because we know how they use him. I think he can get 100 catches. I don't think T. Higgins can, but they're really close. They went probably 3 or 4 picks apart in just about every one of my drafts. So it's really dealer's choice. I don't have a strong preference.
Okay. Next up is, let me see where we at here. Wait a minute. Here we go. Fantasy question. What to do with Cam Akers? Eddie Lepp is asking.
You have to keep him on your bench and hope it gets better. Running backs off Achilles injuries just don't have great track records. And you could see the Rams were not comfortable with Akers last night. They hardly played him. Darrell Henderson's a good player. Not a great player. Darrell Henderson isn't going to go to the moon and just shove Akers out of the way, but this is going to be a platoon all season. and it's probably just an ordinary offensive line. You can't cut them, you can't drop them, you can't trade Akers cheap. You just get to kind of put them on your bench and hope things get better in the next few weeks. Be patient here, but I wouldn't start them in week 2.
Okay. All right. If you guys want to send in your fantasy questions, send them in right now on the chat board. Should I start Brees Hall or Raymond Stevenson? Frankie Fresco is asking.
Yeah, Stevenson's interesting because he's the one running back the Patriots have who could maybe have a 50-catch season. Remember, James White retired. They didn't throw the ball to Harris last year. Hall eventually is going to be somebody you can trust for fantasy, but right now Michael Carter looks like the starter, and they're playing the Ravens in week 1. That could be a blowout, and that probably fits into Carter falling.
How do you? Let me ask you philosophically now, because this is a question I wanted to ask you. How much does the quarterback change your mind about running backs and wide receivers? And I get it. Maybe we have to take it by a case basis because sometimes a team has a really good line and they can run the ball no matter what, and that's cool. But the quarterback affects your offense so much.
Absolutely.
And so when we're talking about the Jets, man, I don't know what the hell to expect out of that quarterback position. And I like Michael Carter because, hell, I wanted him for the Dolphins. But I think he can be a number 1 back, and they love him over there. But wait a minute, if the quarterback isn't scaring you whatsoever, well, then let me just stack the box and make Michael Carter's day hell and force Flacco, or whenever the kid comes back, hey, you're going to have to beat us with your arm overall. So how do you look at fantasy situations when there's an unknown at quarterback?
No, it's a great question. I mean, the point is, and this is basically what you were saying, the quarterback
Carolina, New Orleans, the Jets. I mean, you start bouncing around, you got to worry about, how's that, Houston, how's that quarterback position going to trickle down to Seattle, the rest of the
for sure. For sure, I was going to mention them too. I'm hoping Davis Mills is good enough in Houston so I can play Dameon Pierce or Nico Collins or Brandon Cooks with some level of competence. The quarterback is the connective tissue with everything else, and especially when you pick a running back, whether you draft him, you pick him up on waivers, you start him, you're making a bet on how do I feel about this team. What type of game am I expecting? What's the game script going to be like? Are they going to be ahead? Are they going to be behind? Are they going to be running the ball late? Are they going to be playing hurry up late, throwing the ball late? Does he play on third downs? Does he catch the ball? The quarterback is a connective tissue to every other. You need to have an opinion on every quarterback in every city because that will affect, even if you're not going to draft that player. If you want to draft Terry McLaurin, you have to have an opinion on Carson Wentz. Is he better than the quarterbacks they've had in the past? One reason I like Michael Pittman so much in Indianapolis is I think Matt Ryan's an upgrade for them, albeit at the end of his career. And so that makes Michael Pittman interesting to me, or maybe even Mo Alley Cox in a late round as a backup tight end or something like that. So you asked the right question. You have to have an opinion on the quarterback. Now, here's the crazy thing, Big O, and you're going to laugh at me. I think Zach Wilson's so lost right now and so inexperienced. I actually think the Jets might be a little bit better off with Joe Flacco right now. Not great.
No, you're right. You're right.
Maybe he's the short-term answer.
He understands the game and the league. I think I'm with you. I think Zach Wilson's a disaster waiting to happen by putting him out there. I don't think he's close to even being ready. I think he's better at banging, older broads than he is playing football at this point in time.
No fantasy points for that, unfortunately, but yeah, at
there
least
there are fantasies being played.
Yes, at least Joe Flacco's seen everything, right? He's seen every blitz. He's seen every pre-snap indicator. Can he still make all the throws? I don't know about that. And it's a shame because we want to draft Elijah Moore. We want to draft these running backs. Corey Davis has some value. Garrett Wilson, their first-round receiver, Ohio State, what a factory they are for receivers. But you have to ask yourself, again, any team you're thinking of investing in, you have to ask yourself first, even if it's not about the quarterback, how confident am I in this offense? And that's a quarterback question.
All right. Here's a question that quarterback affects it. Razzle Dazzle Crypto's asking, should I start Saquon Barkley or I know your answer, Chase Edmonds?
I'm probably the low man on Barkley, but the thing with him is the Giants have nothing else. I mean, their number 2 running back is Matt Breida. You guys know all about Breida. He's not a bad player, but he's miscast as a starter. Right. So Barkley has 15 to 20 touches already in his pocket. That's such a currency for fantasy. I can't look past that. Excuse me. You
good? Oh, no. He might have hit the mute. Can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now we got
I'm
you. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, my microphone unplugs sometimes. Yeah, Barkley, because he has a safer path to 15 or 20 touches. I don't know what I'm getting into with the Giants. Man, talk about an ugly receiver room right now. I have no idea who Daniel Jones is throwing to, but
Yeah.
Barkley has a safer path to touches. I have to respect that.
Yeah, because I look at that combination and it's like that's a scary combination there. All right. Week 1, 0.5 PPR. Gibson, Zeke at running back.
Again, look, Zeke, his career arc makes me nervous. Tony Pollard was such a more efficient player last year, but they paid Zeke, and they're going to play to that contract. And all Washington told us all summer is how they were down on Gibson. Now, unfortunately, the news of Brian Robinson getting shot, what a horrible story. I hope he makes a full recovery. He may play some football this year. We're just happy the guy's alive. But
yeah,
Dallas believes in Zeke. Washington doesn't believe in Antonio Gibson. We have to respect that.
Okay. Matthew Correa is asking, who do I start, Dameon Pierce or Miles Sanders in a full point PPR?
Love what I saw from Pierce. And, even though Houston's not a good team, Mills wasn't bad last year. Mills was a 5-star recruit coming out of Stanford, and he was the second best rookie quarterback last year. I realize it was a bad class, but I think they can at least be competent on offense. Miles Sanders, 0 touchdowns. He plays on an offense with other backs who will play, with a quarterback who runs. Whenever they score a running touchdown, you think, oh, it's probably Hurts again. Miles Sanders is a pretty good football player. He's not that valuable in fantasy right now. I'm rolling with Dameon Pierce. I drafted him proactively. I think he's going to have a nice season.
All right. Remember, you can follow him on Twitter at Scott_Pianowski. Let's see. What else do we have here? What are your thoughts on David Mont?
Yeah, man, probably the worst offensive line in football, and he's in his final year of his first deal. We don't know if he'll get a second contract. I do think he's going to get a lot of volume, and that's half the game, or maybe even 3/4 of the game at running back, but it's going to be a lot of 2-yard runs. It's going to be ugly. I have a fair amount of Darnell Mooney. I have a fair amount of Cole Kmet, one of my favorite tight ends, because he got the volume last year, didn't get the touchdowns. Jimmy Graham's gone. Cole Kmet's going to get touchdowns this year. I even think that Fields is interesting because he's going to run, maybe for his life at times, but he's probably going to run for 700 or 800 yards. Montgomery I'd take him when the rest of the room kind of shrugged and didn't want him, 5th round, 6th round. I didn't draft him proactively, but because he's already got maybe 250 touches in his back pocket, that keeps him somewhere in that running back 20 to 22 range.
Okay. Final question. Jason Myers is asking, half-point PPR, Melvin Gordon, Michael Carter, Mooney, or Mike Davis for 1 week only?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be probably 1 week only for Mike Davis, but I'm going to go with Mooney because I think he has 8 to 10 targets already in his back pocket. I know the Niners have a very good defense. That's why they almost made the Super Bowl last year. But when you see the competition he has, I dare anybody out there to name any other Chicago wide receiver. That's how bad that wide receiver room is. Now, it means Mooney's going to get extra attention too, but I think he's good enough to beat it. I think he's headed for 1,100 yards and maybe 8 touchdowns. I'd play him confidently in week 1.
I like it. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Scott_Pianowski. Scott, what are you working on at Yahoo Sports? So our listeners can go over to Yahoo Sports and check it out and get an edge there.
Yeah, I posted my picks, my throwing darts, my 5 picks. One of them was Miami, the first pick I listed. So make yourself a little money and take the Dolphins. We have Fantasy Football Live at noon on Sunday. It's a video show. It's also a show on Twitter. You can get me at Yahoo Fantasy. I'll be answering questions there. And then all during the week, we have the podcast, we have pickups, we have game previews, we have sleepers, I do a sleeper piece every week, we have busts, we have all the stuff you need to get ready for your fantasy week 2. But hey, let's start off strong. It's great to be back with you again. I like the Dolphins to come out strong and beat New England. I think it's going to be a really fun year down there. I think they could challenge for a playoff spot. Buffalo may be hard to beat, but Miami certainly got the arrow pointed up. I think New England may have a losing record. When's the last time we felt that way about the Patriots? But
yeah. I like Miami this week big time, man. And, I know it's a homer point of view, I guess, this way. But I see a lot. I was talking about this on the show that it's not just us here in the Dolphin Nation. There's a lot of people in the periphery. And when Vegas is now, it's up to 3.5. And that tells you the money's coming in. Other people are liking what the Dolphins did. And that, if you look at it, it kind of makes a lot of sense. Philosophically, you look at what it made football sense what they did. You know what I mean? And that's why I think a lot of people like what's going on here.
And New England hates this trip. New England has a very poor record in Miami. Even And what was just a couple of years ago when New England this was a game in New England, they needed to win to get the seed locked up, and 17-point underdog Ryan Fitzpatrick beat them. And this is the team that the Patriots do not match up well against and play well against for whatever reason. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about Miami this weekend. It's going to be a fun season. You get Tyreek Hill, it's going to be fun. You get Chase Edmonds, it's going to be fun. The key is Tua. And I hate to sound wishy-washy on Tua.
True.
I just think there's a wide range of outcomes for him. I liked him at Alabama. I think he's a good kid. I think he works his tail off. And we're going to find out, man. And it's just fun. It's fun to have new stuff. It's fun to have an upside. Again, I think the upside of this team is it could easily be a playoff team. So let's get going, man. Wheels up, fins up.
I'm so pumped, and I'm grateful to the people at Sports Grill for making this happen and helping us and supporting us. And we support them because this is year-round fantasy football zone here with Andy Behrens on Monday and Scott Pianowski on Fridays. And now we're doing it video, and now we're doing it year-round. So we've taken it to another level. Scott, thank you, my brother. Great to have you back. Have a fantastic weekend, man. Really appreciate you.
Great to be back, Big O. Good luck in week 1, and we'll talk in a few days.
You got it. There you go. Scott Pianowski, man. Remember, noon, Mondays and Fridays. Andy Behrens and Scott Pianowski, both from Yahoo Sports, both entering our fantasy football zone. And don't forget, all football season long. All right, football specials at Sports Grill. $1.50 Bud Light drafts and bottles during NCAA and NFL games. They've got new cocktails that are only $5 during the NCAA and NFL games. Cherry lemonade, tailgate tea, $12 domestic pitchers. Yeah, baby, bone-in wings are now 15% off. They've got new menu items. The buttermilk chicken sandwich is delicious. They've got the buffalo tater tots. They've got hot sauces that are available to take home. You know the Sports Grill sauce. Those special grilled wing sauces are out of this world. Well, you can get the buffalo sauce, the Miami Heat, the blackberry, the Dale. They've got all kinds, man. And the Doral location is coming soon. Check it out. Mondays, $7 single smash burger. Tuesdays, $2 tacos. And Wednesdays, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult entry. Sports Grill, baby. Good food, good friends, good fun.
You've been listening to the Sports Grill Fantasy Football Zone with Yahoo Sports' Scott Pianowski. Go to sportsgrill.com to find a great location near you. Fantasy football fans, subscribe to the Big O Radio Show on YouTube and all other platforms to catch up with all our fantasy football insight provided by Scott Pianowski and Andy Behrens.
There we go. There we go. There we go. You guys wanted fantasy, right? You kept complaining and telling me, hey, come on, man, when are you going to do fantasy? When are you going to do fantasy? Well, fantasy is here now. You can't complain now. Now you have it every week, twice a week, year-round. It'll be podcasted in a little while. Sean will put it up. It won't show up on iTunes probably, but it'll show up on all the other platforms, okay? I want to remind you again, for those of you that are downloading the show on iTunes, because I know iTunes is the most popular one, but apparently they're having a bunch of issues or something. Our episodes, not all of our segments, in fact, I would say 90% of our segments aren't going through on iTunes, okay? Since last Saturday. Tomorrow will be a week that they've been having this issue. It's killing our download numbers, by the way. I mean, just absolutely annihilating our download numbers. So you could tell they're picking up some. You could tell some people are going to like Spotify and Stitcher and all that. So they're all coming up on SoundCloud and Podbean and iHeart and Spotify and Stitcher and Google Play and Amazon, and all the other platforms are picking it up. Every single segment, an episode, hour, interview, rant, whatever. They're coming out on all the other ones. So, as I suggest always, if you're a main, I am a main iTunes guy myself, okay? But I also have Spotify, just in case, because I've seen this happen. So get a backup, any of them, dude. iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever. SoundCloud is the one we use. That's the official one of the show that feeds all the other ones. So really, SoundCloud, you'll get it first than any of the other downloads. I don't know if you guys know that, but I don't think we've ever even talked about that. But SoundCloud would be the ideal one for you to sign up on, because you'll get the episode first there, because it loads up there, and then it takes a few minutes till it gets to iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher, all that. So you'll get it actually as fast as possible off of SoundCloud. That's where it goes to first, that Sean loads it up. So if you want to get a SoundCloud subscription, so that way if anything happens to iTunes, you can use the SoundCloud as the backup. Okay? I was disappointed that they didn't show the Ozzy. They showed like 10 seconds. But then again, look, I wasn't surprised. What we needed was a bootleg feed that showed the stadium feed. You know how they do with the NBA's channel? I forgot where it was that you watch and they go to a commercial break, but you stay in arena. Because I've seen it myself. Well, you needed that feed to watch the Ozzy event. They only showed 10 seconds because it's not music that's made for the masses, as Depeche Mode would say. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they showed 10 seconds, and then Maria Taylor goes on. There's Ozzy Osbourne still jamming at 74. Did you notice Tony Dungy's reaction? Yeah, I'm about 74 too. Damn, he's older than I am, and he's still rocking out there. Good for him, by the way. I was so happy to see Ozzy out there. Because, listen, let's be honest. Ozzy should be dead. Ozzy Osbourne should have died years ago. Years ago. It's like Keith Richards. How are those people still alive? So to watch him go through hell like he's gone through, and the falls and the surgeries and all that, and for him to get back there, remember, that's what he loves to do. And when any of us, look, a lot of us have a job throughout our careers. And when you're done with your career and you get to retire, you're done with it. You're like, oh, it's over. Thank God. The people that love their work, they don't want to retire. No. That's part of their identity. That's who they are. And that's who Ozzy Osbourne is. So you take music away from that guy, he won't be with us very long. That's what keeps him going, being on that stage. No, we're post-game. Yeah. We've moved Cam, by the way. We're not going to have Cam Wolf today. We're going to move him over to the post-game show. I think it's better. There's not much more to say right now for the Dolphins. There really isn't. I'd love to bring him on to do what? I talked to him. I said, hey, let's get you on post-game. And he's like, yeah, that's better. So we're going to have Joe Shad, Marcel Louis-Jacques, and Cameron Wolf on our pre and post game shows. I don't know if I'll bring them on in pre, probably post. Probably bring all three of them on in post. So that way the post game is filled with the press conferences, the insiders, and my opinions, and we're loaded. We're absolutely loaded. So you want a post game show that is just going to rock out? You listen to our post game show. We'll get you in and out in 2 hours. We'll get you all the information you need. We'll break it down like nobody else can. And we have the best insiders also in South Florida, period. Nobody has better insight and more experience covering local teams than our platform does. No radio station and no other platform in South Florida. Put it this way, all the other platforms and radio station combined don't even come close to us. So there you go. So tune in on Saturday for your pre and post game show for the Canes, and tune in on Sunday for your pre and post game show for the Dolphins. Ozzy Osbourne and Keith Richards drank Edge Energy. That's why they're still alive. Well, then that makes sense now. See, now you've brought some sense to this, Brooklyn Rob. And Brooklyn Rob, how's that crypto, huh? I don't know. I'm wondering if this is another one of those fake pumps, because it's not like I see everything around the world turning around. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm definitely not buying anything. There is nothing for me to buy right now. Everything is soaring. Bitcoin is over almost it is at 11%. I was going to say almost 12, but it went down to 11.0%. It's at 21,400, man. That is just absolutely crazy. ApeCoin's up 15.5%. I mean, damn, dude. This is awesome. Algorand up to 32 cents. It is riding, baby. Riding. I love it. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? So will Tua and the Finns go 4-0 against the New England Patriots? That's the question, right? Tua's 3-0. And listen, let's be honest, okay? As much as I'm a Tua guy and I'm president of Tuanon and all that good stuff, it's not like he's been this world beater in all 3 games, but he's done, as the most he can to help win, at least. He's made some plays, and he hasn't necessarily been a big detriment to losing those games. So now the question is, think about this. You're 3-0 without an offensive staff. You've been 3-0 without an offensive line. You're 3-0 in the last 3 games against Belichick with Tua without a real running game. At least a couple years ago, he had a real offensive coordinator, one that was at least honest enough to say, hey, Flo, the kid's not ready yet. But Flo, of course, his agenda was a whole different ballgame. So he wanted to serve the kid up for failure. But you think about it. So you're 3-0. You didn't have Tyreek. You're 3-0. You didn't have Cedric Wilson. You're 3-0. You didn't have this kind of speed in the backfield with Chase and Mostert. You're 3-0. And wait a minute, hold on. You didn't have a rookie like Ezukama as your 4th or 5th wide receiver. You're 3-0 without Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. I like their chances. I like their chances to make it 4-0 under Tua here in the last 4 games. Put Bill Belichick deeper into the abyss and frustrate him even more. Let me tell you something. If the Dolphins play the Patriots next year in week 1, and the Patriots lose twice this year to the Dolphins, including on Sunday, he's going to come like 2 weeks before the game. He's going to when they finish the preseason, they'll travel right away to Miami or something. He won't know what to do. He might have them practicing inside a sauna for a week. He'll have Robert Kraft say, hey, those Asian day spas you have, do they have like a really big sauna so we can get the whole team in there practicing? I mean, that's 4-0 right around the corner for you Tua haters. And if Tua wins, how do the haters handle it? How do the doubters handle it? Right? How do the second guessers handle it? So if Tua wins and he plays well, for you haters out there, how are you going to look at it now? And the haters that are Dolphin fans or non-believers that are Dolphins fans. So how do you dislike a quarterback that is 4-0 against Belichick? You got to like that, right? There aren't a lot of quarterbacks in the history of the Miami Dolphins that have won 4 straight games against Belichick. Tua might just be that guy. And think about it. This will be the first win he does with a competent coaching staff and a competent offense. That's why I really like this team. I like this game. I like the Dolphins in this game. I like what they're doing. Listen, if it was the Bills, I wouldn't be nearly as confident. I saw the Bills yesterday. I was impressed. They played a sloppy game and won by 21 points. They turned over the ball 4 times and won by 21 points. Holy shit. Yeah, no, the Bills are for real. Not afraid of the Patriots. And Tua shouldn't be afraid of the Patriots. He's 3-0 here against Belichick. Let's see if he gets it done again and makes it 4-0 in his last 4 games against good old Bill. All right, 855-912-1056. Yes, sir.
Matt Verderame just retweeted out something from the Buffalo Bills game last night.
Yes.
Did you know Isaiah McKenzie scored a touchdown?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was his.
They also stole a ball from his ass, but yeah.
His sister was doing a gender reveal, and he revealed the baby to the camera for the party. They were watching it on national TV, and he did the gender reveal for his sister.
That is so
when he
cool.
scored a touchdown.
That is cool. That is cool. So they had to wait for him to score a touchdown in order to get the gender reveal.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a backup just in case, but they had the
And
party
what was
going.
it? What was it?
I don't know. I can't read. I think it said it's a boy. Can't
Okay.
read. It seems like they blocked out because I guess maybe the camera was worried about what he was going to say to the camera. I don't know if he knew. I don't know if everything was set through, but
Okay.
this was tweeted out by the Buffalo Bills.
That's cool.
So
I like
pretty-
that. I'm
cool
not big
thing
on
there.
I'm not big on gender reveal, and I get the people that will like to do the gender reveal because you get to plan the room out and all that kind of stuff. So it makes all the sense in the world. I like the surprise. I didn't want to know the sex of our baby, and my wife didn't either. Anyway, I predicted it, so it didn't matter. It's kind of the thing I do, so it doesn't really matter. You know, I told you guys this. I told you the story already, right? For those of you that maybe haven't heard it, that's not content that gets podcasted like individually. So yeah, so my wife is in the delivery room, all right. And this back in the day, you could be in the delivery room, and I even cut the umbilical cord and all that. I don't know if you still can do that or something. I think they worry about the husband passing out because that's what they told me. They go, "Are you sure you don't get queasy or anything?" I told them, "Bro, there's not a bit of Joe Philbin in me." Back in those days, I don't think Joe Philbin was around, but I was just telling him, "No, I don't get queasy on any of that stuff. I'm good." I saw that whole placenta come out, and it did nothing to me. That's what I tell my wife all the time. I still love you, honey. I still love to have sex with you. And I saw your placenta come out, and I still want to have sex with you. That tells you how much I love you. Okay? That's love right there, baby. When you're in the delivery room, you cut the umbilical cord, you're holding the baby, then she holds the baby, and then you watch them take out the placenta, and then they put it on this big-ass tray, because, you know, they got to test out the placenta and all that other stuff. And you're looking at it going, wow, it looks like a liver. Yeah, you want to take a bite, you want to slice it up. It's probably pretty wholesome for you. There's probably a crap ton of nutrients in that placenta. But there's, you know, a bunch of you out there that you could never do that and sit there and just watch a placenta. This isn't a horror movie where you know everything is fake. This is the real stuff that might be horror for you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not that guy. I don't get queasy, you know, with all that stuff. Needles, all blood, that doesn't do anything to me. It's the only time I was freaking out is when I was sitting in a hospital room on my bed, and I was feeling like my heart was about to explode because I needed to put 5 stents in my heart. They hadn't put the 5 stents in my heart, and my arteries were so clogged that the blood wasn't flowing, and my heart was like coming through my chest. And then looking to the right, my wife was like crying, like, "Oh my God, is my husband gonna die right here in front of me?" You know, and I thought I was gonna die right here in front of her. You know, that kind of stuff. That's about the only time that I really felt scared, to be quite honest with you. But outside of that, I'm pretty, you know, I'm pretty durable overall. And so there I am, and then the head starts to come out a little bit, right? You know, you see the head, and so, you know, he's telling her to push and all that stuff. She's holding my hand. I'm looking down. And when I see the head come out, I said, "Hey, Doc, hold on a second." He looks at me weird. And I said, "Okay, time to guess now. What's it going to be?" And so I had the doctor give me a guess. I had the nurses give me a guess. I think we had 2 nurses in there. And then my wife had to give me a guess while she's also laboring in pain and saying, "You asshole, let's just get through this." So she gives me her guess. And then I said, and by the way, I was filming the whole thing. I don't think they let you do that either. I had a camera on the top. I still have the tape. We turned it over to a DVD. And I had it angled right down, so we had the whole delivery there. I don't know if they let you do they let you cut the umbilical cord? Do they let you film it?
They're saying yes, of course, on the umbilical cord.
Okay, do they let you film it also? Because I filmed it. I doubt they let you.
I don't know how many of these have actually had like kids in the last so many years. So I don't know.
Well,
I'm
we
just-
haven't had in 21.
No, I know, but I'm going off the
22.
chat here, so I'm not. I
Yeah.
mean, this might be Facebook facts, so I don't.
Yeah. Now I'm talking about somebody like recently, like a couple years. I'm not talking about anybody 10, 20 years ago, because then you're in my neighborhood.
Too
I'm
extreme
talking about
saying
now, like
You
now.
can still do all that. Yes to
Yeah?
both. Corn Iowa Productions. Yes to both.
Oh, you can film. All right, so there you go. So then I looked at the camera and I said, "Here comes my daughter," and boom, I got my daughter. So my greatest prediction of all time. I knew I was having a daughter from day one. Knew it from day one. I told my wife throughout, "It's a girl in there. It's a girl in there. It's a girl in there." I just knew it. Just knew it. Got lucky. I think I had a 50-50 chance, right?
Yeah, 50-50.
You know. So, not bad. What do you got for me?
Another lighthearted little tweet thing going on here.
What do we got?
All right, so Les Bowen, who is I believe,
I know who he
reporter
is.
with the covering the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
He's sending out because AJ Brown's standing during practice, and it looks like he's having some issues. So he says, "I'm guessing AJ Brown is processing his grief over the passing of Queen Elizabeth."
Oh.
So he gets a quote retweet by AJ Brown. He said, 15 minutes before practice starts, I get stung by a bee and I'm allergic. So what you see here is me trying to control my breathing after I got my EpiPen shot.
Oh,
LOL.
God.
But he did it lighthearted, but it's funny. Like, you're trying to, make light of it.
And something serious was
Yes.
going on, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. That sucks, dude. Poor
Ugh.
guy, man.
Oh, I need
Scary.
AJ Brown for my fantasy team.
Oh, yeah, it's scary. And he's such a freak, bro.
Did you see the
Wow.
story of the guy that drafted
What
his
a
fantasy
talent.
players and sent them DMs? Like, I drafted you, and this is what I expect from you.
Oh, nice.
To the players.
I didn't
I'm like,
know. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I guess one of the players actually took a
Oh, hey,
screenshot
bro.
and-
He's a general
and
manager.
sent it out. Yeah, he was like, every ball you drop, you need to run a mile.
That's
I
it.
was like, man, this guy's.
I
this
like
guy's
it.
good.
I like it. He paid
Real
his
good.
he paid his franchise fee. He studied hard in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's well prepared. He drafted the guys. Now it's up to them to perform, bro. Yeah. That's it. Screw your team, bro. It's my team. You're not playing for the Dolphins. You're playing for my fantasy team. You're not playing, for the Falcons. You're playing for my fantasy team, bro. Yeah.
Imagine me sending
Yeah.
DM to Tyreek Hill. Hey, look, Tyreek, I need you to get 10 catches this weekend, all right? If you don't, I'm going to cut you.
Exactly. Next week's baby girl will be adding to my family. Can't wait to see some placenta. Oh. All right, so you can handle it. All right. There you go. Manny J. Snow, who came by to say hi to us. Manny J. Snow, much love, my brother. Thank you for a little super chat action. He says, thank you for the photo op, Big O. Awesome to meet the myth, the legend. Well, yeah, I don't know about myth or legend, but I appreciate you, Manny.
I'm not sure about awesome either. But
Yeah, no awesome, no
yeah,
myth,
you're
no
throwing
legend.
loose things around there, myth, legend. Might as well throw out awesome to meet you,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Now, the honor was mine, Manny. Thank you, man. I am honored by every one of you that supports Sean, myself, the C-Man, and all of our insiders and this entire platform that we're just busting our asses to make it happen, man. Yes, sir. What do we have?
Can I answer Jose's question?
What do we have? What does Jose ask? I might have missed it in case Big O talked about it, but is Joe Shad coming back or Omar K? Yeah, Jose, I'm really sorry to report Omar, unfortunately, is staying with I Am Athlete. He got an exclusive deal. And Joe Shad, we have no idea where he's at. We're trying to find him. We're looking for him. We put out a search party for him. He's into some kind of hijinks. So we're having trouble in finding Joe Shad.
Yeah, we can't get an eye on him.
Yeah, it's hard to get an eye on him right now, or two eyes on him for
Yeah,
that
that's
fact.
right,
So, that's kind of been the issue right now, Jose. It's really trying to see if we can somehow find Joe Shad amongst all the hijinks that's going on right now.
Because we want him on here to do some grading.
Yes, we need him. We need him to come over and grade the Acura vehicles, Sean's cooking, because Sean, brags about being this incredible cook.
Oh.
So we gotta, so we desperately need Joe Shad back. So if, anybody sees him out there, make sure, you point out to him to come on over and, join us on the platform and stop all the hijinks. Okay? Jose, all you got to do is rewind, my brother. He's there somewhere. He's back. Okay? And you'll understand the play on words we just had with you on all of that. What else do we have here? Yes.
Dougie said, even thought Joe was a pupil of yours. He kept an eye on the horizon.
There you go. Nice. Karen says, wow, very creative. Their backup gender reveal was setting off fireworks that would probably cause a forest fire. It is in LA after all. Didn't somebody start a fire with some stupid gender reveal thing that they did? I think there was a story like that somebody had some gender reveal thing like a month or two ago, and they accidentally started a forest fire. I think that happened, actually. Seriously. I'm pretty sure I saw a story, something along those lines, which is kind of crazy. So, Tannehill. Did you see Tannehill talk about this weekend? You know how Belichick has panicked? And don't kid yourselves. Belichick is panicking. The GOAT is panicking. By showing up this early this week, that's a total panic. You don't get acclimated to the heat with 2 light practices and a walkthrough on Friday. Oh, look at your Friday. How's the humidity working out for you on Friday? Huh? How's that humidity? Yeah, boy. South Florida humidity is right there. Yeah. Come on, man. Hell, it rained yesterday.
You were right about that, by the way.
What was I right about?
A California couple have been criminally charged for their role in igniting last year's destructive El Dorado wildfire after they used pyrotechnic device during a gender reveal. The blaze torched close to 23,000 acres, destroyed 5 homes, 15 other buildings, and claimed the life of a firefighter.
Are you amazed at all the stupid shit I keep up with? You got to admit, it is amazing, all the kind of stupid shit that I keep up with.
It is amazing because I had to change my Gmail account password because I couldn't remember, and I just changed it 3 days ago.
Look at that. It's crazy. It's crazy that I remember stuff like that. So, he's panicking. Right? I mean, that's what's going on here. The guy's panicking. Belichick is panicking. He's here early. If he loses to Tua, oh my God. What's he going to do after that? I love it, man. I love it. And yes, I picked the Dolphins. You want to score? I took the Dolphins minus 3.5. That was our A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment. If you want to score, let me give you a score. Dolphins 26. Patriots 12. Yep. 4 field goals. No touchdowns for Mac Jones or the Pats. I don't even know if Mac Jones finishes the game. So much I think they're going to get after his ass. Big O, who you got this weekend for the UFC with Nate and Chimaev? Is it Chimaev? How's it pronounced? I'm going with the guy that you can't pronounce. That's my guy.
They had to cancel the press conference last night.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. And Dana White had to answer to why he had to cancel the press conference.
Yeah, but last time they didn't do that with Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, and then some fan got hurt because Monster can't hit him in the face or in the eye, and they sued. So it was just
Cover your
CYA,
ass.
baby, CYA.
Yeah, cover your ass, baby. Yes, it caused a huge yes, exactly. There you go. You saw it too, right, Dougie? It's it's funny. Gender reveal and you light up a forest fire. It's crazy. Belichick may dust off his Super Bowl 25 game plan that was used against the Bills. Only problem is he doesn't have Carl Banks and Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't have that. That's gonna be a problem. Anyway, so I was telling you the story that Belichick is panicking now, right? So he's in the middle of this panic zone now that he comes early to get acclimated for a game that he really can't get acclimated to. That has nothing to do with it. I still think really it's about either Kraft with the Asian baseball thing. Oh, Bill, you're going to lose anyways. Let's go early and I can get a couple extra massages. Probably that. Or he's planting cameras and mics, or he's trying to poison Tua. But really, it's not about getting acclimated. Belichick is panicking. He's panicking because he's 2-7 against the Dolphins in the last 9 games. He's 0-3 against Tua. Tua is his kryptonite. And look at him panicking. Well, guess what? Ryan Tannehill. Remember last year in the playoffs? Oh, my God, we can't run. Well, what happens when you can't run? Ryan Tannehill can't bail you out. That becomes a big problem for Ryan Tannehill. He gets scatterbrain, like I've been telling you guys for many, many years, that he is King Scatterbrain. Okay? Yeah, he's a game manager on his best day, but he's not a guy that is going to decipher defenses and read them quickly and pick them apart and those kind of things. No, man. He's a guy that can play on schedule. Anything off schedule, you're risking your entire game plan with him, just like last year. So this is what I love. I love the non-confident people are the ones that try to talk up their confidence. This is a guy that needed a shrink at the end of the year. This is a guy that said he went into a dark place for a couple of months, right? Well, the Titans quarterback, people are talking about, is this a make or break season for him? Is his job on the line? Well, he says that a burning fire is inside of him. He says at this point, it's a new season. What happened last year doesn't matter. Oh, but it does. But no doubt there's a passion and a fire burning. So the guy went from a dark place to a fire burning. Give me a break. That's a kid that already knows. Let me rephrase it. That's a man that already knows his days are numbered. And he's trying to convince himself and lie to himself that he can play his way out of this position when he won't be able to. Just like Bill Belichick is thinking that, well, if I come down for a couple of days, I can coach my way out of this game. My players can get adapted and will be better suited to beat them on Sunday. Go ahead, Bill. Lie to yourself. Go ahead, Ryan. Lie to yourself. You're both going to fail. Tannehill, you will lose your job. Belichick, you will lose on Sunday. Yes, sir.
Major League Baseball approved some changes.
Oh, look out. What
new rules will give pitchers 15 seconds between pitches with bases empty, 20 seconds with runners on base, and they are banning shifts, meaning teams will be required to have 2 defensive players on either side of the second base bag with both feet on the infield dirt. Those will take place during 2023.
You know, you could have killed the shift. Teach them how to hit to opposite fields. You know, you can make the game a little bit more exciting. Teach them how to manufacture runs. Yeah, break. Baseball is just so ass backwards. It's not even funny. Zero blitz the crap out of Jones. He's much better than Lamar Jackson at finding an open guy if you zero blitz him. I'll tell you that. Lamar Jackson can't do that if his life depended on it. Zero blitz the crap out of Lamar Jackson. But this kid will make you pay. The thing about this offense is I don't buy their receiving core that much. I think Miami has the kind of corners that can slow them down, and X will take out their number one, which is Devontae, and then the other guy's Bourne and what is it, Jabiri or whatever the other guy's name, Jabari or something. I forgot the guy's name or whatever it is. It's whatever. They don't do anything for me. I just don't think they have the kind of weapons that you need to really make some damage out there. When sports and business collide, Jacoby Myers. That's it, Jacoby. Whatever. When sports and business collide, folks, we love doing something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. All right. Well, did you catch up finally with Hard Knocks? No? Will you watch the rest of it by the time the season starts? Because, I mean, I know you don't have any work. Yeah, I mean, you don't have anything.
Maybe Monday I might be able to do
It's not like
something.
you're doing anything on Saturday or Sunday or anything like that. You know, it's not.
Nothing.
You're just a lazy guy hanging
That's it.
around.
I just chill, put my feet up, watch some football.
Well, you'll like the ending. I mean, it was entertaining. Do you enjoy the Hard Knocks yourselves like I do? I enjoy all of them, actually. Like, I'd say 90% of them, 95% of them.
Yeah, I think they do a good job of
Right?
the entertainment level on them. Yeah,
Right? Don't they?
they do a good job.
I think they do a good
I
job.
always
of-
find that one guy that probably is not going to make the team. That's going to be the heartbreak. And it seems that always that. I mean, I don't know if they talk to the teams to have an idea of who they think might, but it always seems like there's one guy they follow, and it's like
the corner was this year.
Yeah.
He got picked up by the Giants.
Giants. Yep.
Yeah. So, Hard Knocks, obviously very popular. And the Lions look like it's paid off for them. Why? They have sold out their September 11th home opener against the Eagles at Ford Field. Last year, the Lions averaged 51,522 fans, which ranked last in the NFL and was significantly down from the 61,323 in 2019 prior to the onset of COVID-19. The Lions have struggled on the field, reaching the postseason just 3 times since 2000, all of which resulted in first-round losses. So, and if you're a Lions fan, I can understand you getting jacked up about your team. The coach is likable. The assistant coaches are likable. The first-round pick is super likable, right? The Hutchinson guy, was it Hutchinson? Aiden Hutchinson, super freaking likable guy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's what. And then the other thing is, if you're not a Lions fan, we all have sympathy for them, right? Unless you're in that division. But outside of that, it's like they've lost forever, and you kind of feel bad for them. But for Lions fans, I can understand why they would get jacked up. I don't think they're going to have a good season. I don't think they're going to have a winning record. I don't think they'll win more than 5 or 6 games, if anything. To be quite honest with you, you know me, I don't believe in that head coach. I like him personally. He looks like a super cool guy you want to hang out with, but I'm just not into the rah-rah coaches. And if that's all you got, that's not enough. It's never been enough in pro sports. You better bring more than that. So interesting that they would do that. By the way, of course, KSDT is a proud sponsor of our program, and we talk about KSD. In fact, we'll be there next Friday. And if you're looking for the right company to manage your taxes, to manage your company, whether we're talking about forensic accounting and business valuation, whether it's collateral audits, divorce, fraud, bankruptcy, insolvency, they do it all. They have a management advisory services from forecast, projections, and budgets. They help you with year-end planning. If you're buying a business and you want to make sure that you're buying the business, the business that you're buying is truly producing the money they say they are, well, you should hire KSDT CPA to make sure. Healthcare advisory, they do property management, they do wealth management, whether it's family, whether it's business, whether it's legacy, wealth distribution, wealth management. They handle it all, folks. KSDT CPA's offices in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, covering South Florida, and they are one of Forbes' top 200 firms in the country. So they trust them. You can trust them. I trust them. They will take care of you. Tell them that Big O sent you, man, and the great people at KSDT will take care of you. 305-670-3370. That's 305-670-3370. KSDT CPA.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm on the New England Patriots website. The unofficial depth chart. Wide receiver ones are Nelson Aguilar and Jacoby Myers.
That's it. Yeah, Aguilar's the other guy I forgot.
And then Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne.
That's it.
Are your seconds.
Yeah.
And then they got a Matthew Slater still.
Yeah, he's a special teams guy. He's a special teams ace that they have to keep.
They kept 3 quarterbacks. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, they got to develop. They got to develop them. Yeah, I would develop a guy too if I'm them. I have no problem doing that on any team. Getting a third guy, just handle your roster the right way in the other positions, and you'll be fine. Get guys that can help you out in multiple areas, and you'll be fine. Do me a favor. Speaking of fine, find that IG and bring it up right there. Okay. All right. While he's finding that IG, can I tell you something from the Mike McDaniel press conference that I didn't like? Are you ready for this one? Raekwon Davis, my brother. What's the deal now? You know, you had injuries to start last year, and that started your season slow. And you got better, and you played well, but you didn't play great yet. You haven't played great yet. And I think the Dolphin Nation is waiting for you to turn that corner because the talent is there. And now there's another little, and the way McDaniel sounded, he's not playing. Oh, we're deep enough, this, that, we feel good about it, all this and that. And I'm kind of learning that McDaniel is a guy that never shows any concern ever publicly. He'll never show it to us now. I'm learning that trait because he did it with the corners, he did it with the offensive line, and now he's doing it with Raekwon Davis, which, you know, it's a load of shit because they don't have anybody like Raekwon Davis. They need Raekwon Davis to become a monster. And my point with Raekwon Davis is, bro, is this now a common occurrence? Are we going to have to start dealing with injuries now? You know, I expect the Patriots to try to shove the ball down your throat and go over 200 yards rushing. Truly. I really expect that to happen. And, you know, Raekwon, bro, I did not like that. So we talk about Tua and we talk about monogamy and we talk about players that need to take that next step. And, you know, Andrew Van Ginkel has done well the first 2 years. Will he take that next step? Is Brandon Jones going to, get better in coverage? Because we love everything else about him against a run, a blitzing line, blitzing safety. You know, we do this with all the other players. We don't talk enough about Raekwon. And it's almost like we've given Raekwon the pass that he hasn't deserved yet and he hasn't earned yet. And I didn't like hearing that he, is dinged up now. His ass needs to get on the field. His ass needs to get out there and dominate and play to his ability. Okay? He needs to become the disruptive force that the good Lord gave him the ability to be. And I'm a little tired of the setbacks. Don't want to hear about injuries anymore. I need to see you cross that threshold that when you do get injured, then I know they're missing one hell of a player that needs to get back. You haven't become one hell of a player yet. So just want to say, not necessarily satisfied by hearing that, oh, I'm dinged up this week. And, oh, well, get your ass in gear. Alf says Patriots don't have a fullback on the roster, only 2 tight ends. They are showing their hands. They are going to try 40 dink and dunk passes. I think they'll try to run. If they do that dink and dunk stuff, I don't know if that's going to be a good plan for them. And plus, I don't know if they're going to be able to chew up a ton of clock that way. I still think that bastard's going to try to run the hell out of the ball. I really do. We'll see. We shall see. That'll be interesting to see, Alf, if that's what he does. McDaniel sounded too relaxed with Waddle a few weeks. Yeah, but Waddle's been practicing, and they're loaded at wide receiver. You know what I mean? You're really not loaded on the offensive line, and you're not loaded, at cornerback, and so that's why. And you're certainly not loaded at defensive tackle. At least if you miss Waddle, you got some pretty good receivers overall. You can move Sept out if you feel like it. Azukama, you can put him outside, leave Sept inside, whatever, and you're all right. Trent Sherfield, I like what I saw. He was super consistent throughout training camp. Man, really like what I saw he was way better than I even thought he would be. He's like a perfect number 4, number 5 wide receiver. Perfect. Not one of those guys that'll become a 1 or 2, but he's definitely a nice back-end receiver that you can have on your roster. I was impressed with him. But they have, you miss Raekwon. It's a hell of a player to miss. I have a feeling Easy E is going to have a big game. We will see. If Dolphins can run up the score on the Patriots, and they should take it, not to show off, but to be sure to put away a dangerous team. Win it, bro. Just win it. I don't care if you win it by 50 or 5. You know what I mean? But it's got to be at least 5 because I'm going to give up 3.5. Okay? All right. We are out of here. Huh? Oh, yes. That's right. I forgot. I leave you with one more thing. You know me. I'm a facilitator of fun. Okay? And so I ran into this Instagram surfer. She's a pro surfer, and her name is Alessa Kizone. And I got to say, props to Alessa. Go ahead, filter through a little bit there. Give us a couple of extra. Can you enlarge it? I mean, you should be able to enlarge it, right? No, you can't? Oh, there's a video. Wait. Let's get her surfing. Man, you broke up the surf. Okay. Well, that's good right there. Okay. Get the surf. Let's hear getting let's hear. I see the guys already get the drift. Might be your favorite surfer of all time right now, Alessa Kizone. Mr. Oh, you got to get it. There we go. We got some surfing now. Give me some surfing. Look at that. There you go. I don't know. Is she a IG pro surfer that, or maybe she's not a pro surfer? She's just a surfer, because we thought that maybe Paige was playing a little pro golf, and she's not really a pro golfer. She can teach you golf, but there you go. Showing off, doing things that you and I could never, ever do. That's for sure. That's what we're here for. Alessa Quizon. Quizon.
And on the UFC 279, Chamath, or however you say his name,
right?
He's struggling to cut weight right now to make the weight for the fight. So we'll see. That came out from Bleacher Report just now.
Oh, wow. There you go. Soon to be Alessa Villarreal. So yes, there you go. She can surf to me anytime. I'll do gender reveal with her. Nice surfboard. What do you think about throwbacks being permanent? Of course, dude. I mean, who the hell wants that stupid ass whale that we have now? I hate that. This is the logo. That other logo, that other crap that they've got now, it's garbage. Yeah, she can surf. No, she's legit. You can tell she's legit. When will you be back on? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I love Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Huh? He missed a weight, so he's out?
He missed the weight by 7.5 pounds.
Damn. That's a lot of Snickers.
So either I think they can agree on a.
Can they just cut his stomach out?
Cut a leg, cut a foot.
Nah, a stomach. That way he doesn't eat till.
Well, Daniel Cormier messed it up for everybody, though.
Why?
Because in his when they went into I think it's the Hall of Fame for UFC, he said that he did that on the towel. They have the guys holding the towels for, and what he did was he pushed down to alleviate a little bit of the weight so he could make weight. Now, I think that a lot of people were using that now, and now they don't, they're probably more cognizant because he did say, I did it.
Right.
Him now, and everybody knew he did it, but
right.
He's finally said that, he came clean on it.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean,
Damn
that's
straight.
That's just the way
so
it
we'll
is.
See. I mean, they don't say the fight's off, so I mean, maybe they agree. Nate Diaz, I think, just wants to fight and get his contract over with, anyways.
Jafrod says, I surf with girls and they're wearing thongs laying on their boards. Yes. Sorry, Big O, but that old logo is too cartoonish with the helmet. LOL. The new one actually looks like a dolphin. It looks like a whale to me, bro. It looks just absolutely terrible. It's you and I are going to completely disagree on that. I shit on that logo. Okay, it's garbage. They should put that logo and put it in a fire somewhere and make it disappear like it never was part of our history. That's how terrible that logo is. I don't care if you change this logo up a little bit and modernize it, but that crap whale logo, that thing looks terrible, bro. I don't even see dolphins in that position anyways. They jump out of the water, bro. It's just, I don't know. It's a lame ass photo. It just is. Another terrible move by Stephen Ross, and another reason why he shouldn't be anywhere around the damn team. All right, we are out of here. We thank Ira Winderman, Joe Shad, Scott Pianowski. What are you showing me? Oh yeah. Yeah, in Palm Beach Gardens. Did he go to him? Okay. No, you know why he retweeted that? That's Tom D'Angelo, right? Because yesterday I heard Tom D'Angelo's voice. Okay, so he works for the Palm Beach Post, that guy? Okay, because a reporter for the Patriots. Okay, because I could have sworn, I don't know if D'Angelo catches the show or not. Tommy D is awesome. He works for the Palm Beach Post. I heard the Belichick press conference, and I could swear I heard Tom D'Angelo's voice asking a question. So I thought maybe it was D'Angelo that took the pictures, and since they both work in the same paper, he used those pictures. But yeah, it's kind of a joke. All right, we're out of here. Thank you all out there, as always, for tuning in and keeping it locked. Please smash the like button, subscribe, hit the subscription, and the notification. We'll be back tomorrow morning to get you ready for the Canes and Southern Miss. We'll start off at 10 a.m. We'll have insiders with us. We'll have press conferences. Sunday, we'll be back starting off at 11 a.m., 11:01, and we'll get you ready also for the game between the Patriots and the Dolphins, and then we'll be back in the post game with 3 insiders. Cameron Wolf, Joe Shad, and Marcel Louis-Jacques will be joining us in the post game show along with all the press conferences. We will have it covered and more people in the locker room than anybody else. We'll see you Saturday. We'll see you Sunday. Have a great one.
This is the Big